guards are coming up. We have to barricade the door. What? Well, don't just stand there. Why couldn't you have just stayed calm for once instead of flying off the handle? I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy now. I hope you're happy how you hurt your cause forever. I hope you think you're clever. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy too. I hope you're proud how you would grovel in submission to feed your own ambition. So though I can't imagine how, I hope you're happy right now.
Citizens of Oz, there is an enemy who must be
The hell am I watching?
nothing she says. She
Hey,
is evil,
a member of the channel sent me this.
responsible for the mutilation of these poor, innocent
I thought I'd play it while you guys are coming on in
Green
here.
skin is but a manifestorium
What's
of a
going on?
twisted nature.
Anyone see this movie yet?
This
Well,
repulsion,
not this movie.
this wicked
But from what I hear, this is funnier than the actual Wicked.
I'm not.
Oh my god.
It's the wizard who should be afraid of me.
Open this door in the name of His Supreme Ozness.
Helpy, listen to me.
All right.
Just say you're
I'll put the
sorry
link in the chat.
before it's too late.
I can't even take anything Wicked spoof or satire right now, man. Ay, ay, ay. All right, we'll be right back. What's happening, everybody? Paulie here on a late night Latino edition. We used to do these a lot. Because I used to stream almost every freaking night. However, I'm thinking of bringing it back. I don't know if it's going to be on this night or maybe a Tuesday night, but we will find out. And we will see who's hanging out exclusively just on YouTube. And we already see people coming on in, which is wonderful. We have a bunch of good friends hanging out with us early on. Solomon is here. Budget Wicked. What's up, Sander? Monica, I knew you'd be here because it's you're waking up where you all live, which I love. I love that. And Darth Plato is here. Hello, Darth Plato. So I've also have extended this invite to a couple of good buddies, some who clean shaven. Oh yeah. Yeah, some are very freaked out by the clean shave, but it's got to be done at least once or twice a year. So we'll start growing it out. It grows too fast, Darth. It grows too fast. Okay, so before I bring on my first buddy, let me give you some rundown of some of the things I want to go over. We got race swapping in Hollywood. I think there's almost a race swapping announcement every day now, if not at least once a week. Aging in Hollywood from Pamela Anderson to Marisa Tomei. Sarah Silverman says no one wants to hear from celebrities anymore. We all knew that. Chris Gore spoiled some stuff on the Skeleton Crew. We shall talk about that. And then I want to kind of maybe work our way up to what's really hot and bothering us. I have one. I have something that's really bothering me tonight, and that's why we put on Reflections, Ruminate, and Rant, and we'll see we'll see how that transpires. But speaking of someone who loves to rant and ruminate and reflect, what's up, good buddy?
What's happening, man?
Good evening.
Yeah, you know what? I'm getting used to the no stash too, man.
It's weird, man. It's weird. Look at you with your full beard.
Oh, this is all getting shaved very soon, but I've been in caveman mode for the past couple of weeks.
Okay. Well, I'm just happy that you're doing well. You were telling me that your freelancing's picking up, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I mean, obviously it's a little slow because of the Christmas season. Everyone is kind of uh, phoning it in right now, and
Mhm.
you know, not really doing a whole lot. So the work isn't probably not going to be there too long. But yeah, it's going all right now. But yeah, man, things are cool. Just been streaming a lot with a lot of different people right now.
I see that. I
Yeah,
see that.
like
Now,
I'm all over the place.
dude, you're like you're Mr. Big Time. Does that help your channel?
I
Has it
mean,
been helping your channel, man?
you know what's funny, man, is I don't know how much it helps or not. I think I just do it because it's fun. You know, like I do it
Sure.
because you know, people like to talk about things. I like to talk about things, and you know, and honestly, it's my way of being social without having to go out and spend money. You know what I mean? Like,
Ah,
it's like streaming gives me a chance to hang out with my friends without having to go out and like spend a bunch of money. So,
for sure. For sure.
but as far as helping the channel, I mean, yeah, I mean, like little bits here and there.
So, yeah, you've been on George's channel. You've been on obviously Film Threat,
Yeah, I
and
do. And every now and then, I'm with Yellow Flash on Saturday nights.
oh, that shit's wild, man. That
It's
shit's wild. Those boys are out of control, man.
They are, but it's fun. They they are very wild, man.
Yeah, yeah. Has Anna been showing up,
Oh yeah, yeah. Anna's been there, pregnant and all.
dude? Did you see the photo she put up today?
Oh, she's about to pop any day, man.
I almost feel like I'm almost like you know, because it's just like it's a very beautiful photo of Anna and her bare belly, bare big pregnant belly, and uh, and you know, and she's not wearing a shirt. I mean, she's not. Listen, she's covering up her.
Yeah, she's not topless. Yeah,
Uh, she was topless, man. That's topless.
I mean, she had a bra on.
I can't remember. Listen. It was to me. You know what's funny? Because you saw the substance, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Remember the '90s when?
By the way, I was kind of here nor there on that movie. Like, I didn't love it the way everyone else loved it, man.
Oh man.
It was okay. Like, there was look, there was things I loved about it
Uh
that I
huh.
did love about it, but overall,
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, I don't need to see this again." I saw it once. It was cool, but
Well, listen, I just saw it the second time the other night because Romy hadn't seen it yet, and she's been wanting to see it, but wanted so we finally rented it here at the house,
what did she
and
think?
she fucking loved it, bro. She
Okay,
can't stop
okay.
talking about it. But you know, I get your reaction, and then I get the and I get why Romy would love it so much because she's an actor in the business, because she's a
Sure, sure.
woman, because she, you know, isn't 21 anymore. So we
Don't say
just
that too loud.
bro, I know. We just we went to Mexico for her big 50. Her
Oh,
big
wow, really?
Yeah, we've been planning this for over a year now, and this might be able this is probably good to go into the first topic, but um the substance, it swings for the fences. It's wild. It's probably a little too much at the end, but it's got a strong fucking message, bro.
Oh, no,
It's
no,
got
look,
a strong message.
I look, there's things the stuff about the message I liked. You know, the thing about aging out of Hollywood and, you know, selling your soul for the most part
Mhm,
to keep that youth and that importance, right? No,
mhm.
that part of the stuff I love, man. I think the towards the end, it got a little hokey for me. Is the thing. You know what I mean? Like
Um,
with all the body horror, like it got a little like, okay, I see where this is going. I really do. But you know, especially the part where you know she's stapling the picture. Remember?
dude, she becomes the blob. She becomes the monster.
Yeah.
It's a freak, it's a monster. That was so dope. And it was in a movie theater. I mean, I agree with you. It was I mean, some of the stuff was very, very shocking.
But the
But
performances were amazing, man. Dennis
oh
Quaid
yeah.
killed it, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Margaret Qualley,
Oh,
you
she was
know.
amazing, man, and hot. Very
But
hot.
did you know she had fake titties?
I did. I found out later. So the first time I saw it, I didn't know that. But
Right. And then so then I found out later, and then when I saw it again the other night, I was like, "Oh yeah, they're fake."
it's a little disappointing. It's a little disappointing when you find it, when you realize it's like, oh, come on, But
Yeah, yeah, some fake, some false advertising there. Hey, really fast, guys, in the chat, we're just kind of warming up and talking. Uh, share the link. I put it out on X, so share the link. Do you still call it Twitter, or are you like firmly now like into X? Are
you know
you
what, man? I
comfortable?
still call it Twitter. I
Yeah.
haven't bought into the X thing yet. Like, look, I'll call it X to be official,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't bought into it, man. It's still Twitter to me. I mean, and the thing is, we still call them tweets,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Absolutely. I'm getting used to posts and comments, but we still call them tweets. I'm definitely comfortable saying X. Did you see the baseball caps they're selling?
No.
They look pretty dope. They're like there's like black trucker caps, and
Oh,
it's
with
like
the big X on it.
right, and it's different shades of black, but it's like big X. I'm like,
Okay.
that look pretty good. I'm like, I I struggle with what kind of thing I would buy, like dark mega, make America healthy again. Like I want to buy one of those,
Right.
right? But I'm like, I don't want to get so much shit, and then I just wear my American flag trucker cap.
Well, I mean, it's different for us, man, because number one, we're in LA, but number two,
Mm,
we're industry adjacent. You know what I mean?
right.
So it gets a little weird. Like for me, I might, and this is, I haven't told a lot of people about this, but I
Mm,
might, be joining the CCA, the Critics Choice Association.
yes. Yeah.
And being around those people, man, it's like, look, it's not that I'm ashamed of who I voted for, because I'll tell anybody, yeah, I voted for Trump this year.
Hmm.
But when you're in those social like gatherings and situations, it's kind of like, do I really want to have this conversation with all these people tonight? Or do I just
Yeah.
want to go out and drink and not think about politics, right?
Right. Right. I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. We had just interviewed um, an actor. He's on the Matlock.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. With Kathy Bates or
Kathy Bates.
yeah. Yeah.
He's a Latino guy. The co-star. He's one of the co-stars. It's a big deal for him. And then they got renewed right away for season 2. And this guy was really on point with like being an entertainer. The story. Um, but then I had to ask him like, what do you think of so many artists, actors now who are just so political? And he was very, very gracious in his answer, but he basically said, I just like to entertain people, and for it's almost like that, Dante, nowadays, even for an actor to say that, they're like, would you vote for Trump?
Right. Well, yeah. You know why? Because here's the thing. In this industry, man,
Yeah,
the person not talking about politics is
yeah.
probably a conservative. Right? Like if you don't talk about politics at all, you're probably a conservative. You know what I mean? Because like liberals love to spout their politics,
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
especially in Hollywood.
Really quickly, because Courtney has to go. Courtney, it's Fellowship of Oddballs, member of the channel. You said your credit card expired. I don't know what. Hey, whenever you can get it fixed, whatever whatever's good is good, girl. You've been supporting us for such a long time. Gotta go. Much love, Courtney. Much love. I got some. I'm using a new interface. I don't know if you know. I'm not doing
Yeah,
StreamYard
it
anymore.
kind of threw me off a little bit. I was like, you know what? I'm not used to this.
Well, bro, I mean, I couldn't do the $20 markup.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. I've actually been looking for an alternative. So if this is good, I might be joining you on this.
Well, I created this whole little thing right here with the that was as far as the background and da 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 da, and I'm getting used to it. Studio mode. There's a whole dynamic mode where these are these are pre-made ones. So basically, you can make your own. It's pretty dope, dude.
And
Pretty dope.
this is web based.
This is yes, EVX, and it's $20 cheaper.
Yeah, I might be joining you, man, because when I saw the
$20
hike
cheaper.
up on StreamYard, I was like, dude, come on. You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. Jaime says, "Saludos, Dante." That means hello, Dante. And Paulie, we're gonna go see his movie in Temecula.
Which movie?
Um, he did a film called Voltaic Blood,
Okay.
and they're having an event, a screening on the 13th of December, I believe. And so I'm going. Cameron Pasha's gonna go. See who else wants to come. But that's fantastic, man. When people in the community actually do shit,
Oh yeah, I'm all about that, man.
you know.
I've lately, I'm this is the first time I'm saying this out loud. Like I haven't even told Gore about this yet.
Mm,
I've actually been rewriting or reworking on the TV show that I almost sold to HBO back in 2008.
sweet.
Someone just convinced me. They're like, dude, it's been enough time. Things are different now. I basically in 2008, I almost had a deal with HBO. I almost had a deal with them. They liked my show. They liked the story. They liked the characters, and we couldn't agree on a certain thing. And back then, I was more stubborn, and the
Mm,
deal fell through. So I kind of buried it away. And honestly, I had such a sour taste in my mouth because what's funny is, as
mhm.
much as Hollywood loves to scream, diversity and
Yeah.
inclusion, it wasn't about that back in 2008, which is crazy to say. You know what I mean? They wanted to change my lead character into a white guy, which it didn't work. The story doesn't work if the character is white. It's just the way the story is, and it's not one of those situations where oh, the best actor plays. No, no, no. This is a very you know specific story line that requires the character to be black. But anyway, I was stubborn. The deal didn't go through, and I quit screenwriting because of it. I quit writing for like years, and
Wow.
it's only lately now I've kind of gotten back into the swing of things. And once I'm done with it, I'm gonna send it over to Script Doctor and
Nice.
have him take a look at it for me.
Oh,
And
so speaking of script, really fast. I want you to finish your story. But the tide is turning on certain things. They're going to be in town, Script and Paul Chato next week.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. He Paul told me. He gave me his information, and yeah, we should all hook up and hit a bar, man.
Well, you know what I'm thinking, man. Since I don't really drink like you all do,
Well,
but
or just somewhere we can go
well,
chill. You know what I
I'm
mean?
thinking you guys we come over here and we'll do some food.
Oh, that would be good, man. That would be
I think
really
I,
good,
I think it'd be quality, and then
dude. Let's do that, man. Because you
okay.
have a great backyard.
Right. So, all right, we're
So,
gonna do that. We're gonna grill. We're gonna hang out, and then we'll. Well, I'll call Gore tomorrow, but I think
yeah,
that'd be really
let's.
cool.
That's perfect, actually,
Yeah,
man.
just one night. They're here for a week or something. Paul Chato and the script doctor coming to L.A. So
Yeah,
you were
no,
saying about
wild
your
stuff.
script. You were saying about your script.
Oh yeah, yeah, no. So I decided to put my money where my mouth is, man. I sit here and critique and criticize everybody else's work, and it's like, what, it's time to just step up and throw my hat in the ring
Yeah.
and see what
Yep.
happens. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really kind of like good for the balance, especially if we're creators and then we've been doing this kind of critiquing thing. It's like it's a little too much of that.
yeah,
We gotta do that. We gotta exercise that creative muscle. And uh I've been pushing, was it 2 weeks ago? Less than 2 weeks ago, I did the live reading of my novella. And I just
oh
re
wow, okay,
yeah, and just reading it out loud, man, just got my juices going again, And so, doing the selling, Amazon. I'm gonna do a push for the people that have bought already to go and do Amazon reviews because it's on Amazon now. But you're so right, dude. It's just like it's so fulfilling in a different way, man.
and
You
I
know.
just think it's important for people in our space, especially, man, because there has to be a balance, right? There has to be a
Mhm.
balance of creativity. If we're sitting here just relying on everybody on the left to, create things, then we're always going to be disappointed in some way. There needs to be a balance where, hey, guess what? We create stuff too, kind of like with Rippa, right? Rippa in the
Mhm.
Rippaverse, he created his own comic company, and he
Yep.
creates comics.
Distribution chain, the whole thing.
Yeah, and he put his money where his mouth is.
And then a critical um
Oh, Drinker, yeah.
Jay, who's working through Ripa with his children's books. Again, it's good to exercise that muscle, and it's good to get your work out there. Like Jaime's going to get his work out there. Well, Jaime's been it's kind of different when you're like a member or supporter of these channels. Like I know a half a dozen directors that, and you know some of them, like Alejandro and Kenneth
Yeah.
Castillo. And man, Alejandro has some huge news with his comedy, and it's great that we're a part of that. Like we're supporting that, but you know, uh, it like again, it's good for us to do it. You said something really interesting, and it might be one of the things that's kind of bothering me lately. Is the constant smashing the hammer over the woke head, the woke nail, you
Oh
know?
yeah, man. I've been burned out on that for a little bit now. I just think that, look, at some point I get it. And look, I do get it. And I'm not going to stop critiquing things from a critical eye. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
But at the same time, I can't, worry about if something is woke every time I see it. You know what I mean? It's like, look, there's always going to be aspects of something like that when you're talking about Hollywood, especially
mhm,
right now.
mhm,
And maybe it's going to take a while for things to change, but you kind of almost have to look past that to ask yourself, is there a story here? Are there characters here?
mhm.
Right? Are how's the cinematography? How's the acting? Like there has to be something more than just, is it woke? And
I mean, it, you know, and I think we'll want to talk about that. Shit, we could talk about that right now. Let's start. Let's our first topic will be the skeleton thing, and with Chris Gore's. Did you see the third episode yet?
oh, I haven't even seen any of them yet.
Okay, all right.
You know what? And the reason why is because from what I've been told, this is a show for kids, for little kids.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like my kind of show, but if I hear more good things, I might check it out.
Well, let's get to that right after we read some of these comments. We got our first super chat of the night from Shanatsky. Gracias, brother, for $2. I write scripts verbal. I am near LA. Want to meet? He does. He does write scripts, and he's produced some stuff. So
Oh, very cool. Okay.
actually, Shanatsky, I think you need to come and hang out with us. That's probably the best way. The best way to go.
Yeah, invite him to the barbecue.
Yeah, we're gonna invite you, Shanatsky. And actually, we've had a good Mexican meal. God, it's been too long, Shanatsky. And the sergeant is here. He says, Latino Slant, I'd like to know how much you know about Superman's nemesis known as Brainiac. I heard that the CW plan to introduce him in future Superman Lois seasons until WB canceled the show. Listen, Dante, did you keep up with that show at all?
Yeah, I watched. Man, I got to tell you, it
Did you
might
cry
be
man tears?
it might be my favorite Superman property. I've s- I feel like
Fuck
this is
yeah.
the first time I've seen Superman done the way he is in the comics, right? And
Love it.
I loved Superman and Lois. The series finale was last night,
Mm.
and look, I'll be honest, I shed a tear, man. The way they ended Superman's
Man.
story, it
Yeah.
was so it was so good. It was so ridiculously good,
Really.
man.
Oof.
And yes, I did hear rumors that they had other plans. I heard Brainiac. I heard Darkseid. I heard
Mhm.
if they got an extension, they would have tapped into that stuff. But I got to tell you, man, the way they ended it last night was the perfect ending for that show.
I mean, I heard there was a lot of beautiful posts about that ending from you, from Mark, and some others. And I had gotten so entrenched in the first two seasons. I don't know why I stopped watching. I think I just, you know how life goes. But I need to pick it back up because I got invested in him and the sons and the townspeople and then of
Oh,
course,
dude, I gotta tell you, the third season you're gonna love. It is.
yeah.
It is. The third season is probably might be the best season.
And what's homegirl's name from Entourage?
Oh, she's so gorgeous.
Oh my
One that plays
god!
Lana Lang, yeah.
Woo!
I've had a thing for her, man, since Probably
Yeah.
early 2000s.
Yeah.
I
Well, yeah. I mean,
She
she's
is
Sloane.
amazing.
She's Sloane, man, in
She is
Entourage.
slow.
Wow.
Just gorgeous. She's just so
Gorgeous,
gorgeous,
man.
man.
I mean, here's the thing with her, right? With Entourage, I love watching that series, like maybe like every other year or something.
Oh,
Just
do I
watch
do a
the
yearly rewatch of Entourage, man.
Do you?
I love that show. Like, probably more than I should.
Yeah. Well, but that was the golden age of HBO, bro. That's like that's golden age right there. Let me see. Do we have any? This is really cool too because allows me to see super chat starred, not shown comments. You know, as far as the interface here. Okay, Solomon Thornton says it's a great feeling writing a script. Get all your ideas and formatting it. It was a fun experience writing my sci-fi story. Still needs improvement. Nice, man.
Yeah, you know what? Writing a script is fun. Rewriting a script 20 times, 30 times, 40 times is not fun. But you got to do it. You got to
Yeah.
do it. That's the thing. The rewrites are killers, man.
Yeah. Yeah. What I did, Solomon, with my novella, and I've worked before, like this, is I just hired um, for lack of a better word, an editor. But she came from theater, so she was an award-winning playwright, dramaturg. So she walked with me for a couple of years on this novella. Fantastic questions, fantastic notes she would give me. I love notes, bro. I love notes. So if you can work with someone that you trust and are willing, always get notes.
Well, that's why I plan on giving my script to script doctor and see, and having him basically grill me.
Tear it up. Yeah. You know what? It's got to be done. I got a story for you. Jen McMahon says modern entertainment will be a thing. I mean, listen. You look at every huge hit this year has been, non-political, moderate, just entertainment. I think what you're going to see at the Academy Awards are a bunch of films you've never heard of and that are super agenda driven.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Unfortunately, it's probably going to be the worst that it's ever been, guys. Did you get a chance to see Emilia Perez?
I haven't, not yet.
Okay. Yeah. So
Oh, wait. Was that the one about the cartel? Remember?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
Who becomes Trent? Yeah.
Okay. I could not stand that movie, and I was dying watching Chris Gora like it so much.
Was that the one with Zoe Saldana?
Saldana, yeah,
Saldana, yeah.
yep. And the funny thing with that film is that her and then the actress, the trans actress, uh, in their quiet moments in the film, right when they're just kind of like one on one and it's dialogue, they're
Mhm.
fantastic. Some really good stuff. But the problem is there's these god awful dance numbers, musical numbers.
Yeah, I saw some of them. I was like, "Ooh, no."
I mean, it wasn't just one. It was like I think the only one. I think there's maybe a half a dozen songs. Was the Selena Gomez song, and that's like a real like pop single. So it kind of even sounded different than the other songs,
Right.
Um, and I just had a lot of major problems with the story. Major problems. I mean, you could even say this is downright some bad stereotypes of trans people, of Mexican people, of
Well,
I mean,
I'm sure.
I mean, the fucking French, dude. The fucking French. We're gonna do something special with the trans people in Mexico. I want you to be a cartel leader. Dirty. I want you to be dirty. I want you to be just so full of dirt. You're gonna kill people that disappear. The women they disappear, and then I'm gonna make you a saint at the end. I'm gonna make you a saint at the end of all the disappeared women. They made her a fucking saint at the end of the film, dude.
God. I saw her at the Latin Film Awards. That I went with Chris and Alan and those guys,
Right.
and
Right. How was
she was
that?
talking about it there, and I was just kind of like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass on this."
Did she get up there and do a soapbox, the actress?
Oh, absolutely, she did.
Ah,
Zoe Saldana did.
Oh, Zoe. Zoe. How
Yeah,
about
Zoe got up there,
yeah,
and
I'd expect that from her.
yeah.
She's a good little actor, man, when she just, but yeah, I'd expect that from her. Okay, man, geez, we're like let's go with Chris Gore here on spoiling the Skeleton Crew. Uh this jerk. So, guys, we're gonna do a spoiler here. If you watch the first 2 episodes of Skeleton Crew, know that Gore spilled the beans online, and it got a lot of people riled up. That in the 3rd episode, we're going to get introduced to all the parents of the kids, and one of the kids has 2 moms, and so Chris was
Well, it's
like,
not a huge spoiler, but
right. I mean, but what I'm saying is that if you don't follow Chris, or if you don't,
sure.
you really wouldn't know it from the first 2 episodes. Maybe,
Mm,
maybe. But there's going to be a reveal that one of the characters has 2 mommies,
of course.
and that Chris basically said, enough of this modern storytelling. Let me pull up his words, but let me get your quick thoughts on that really fast. Dante.
Look, again, man, at this point, I just expect this stuff. I would have been surprised if there weren't 2 mommies at this point. No, really. Like, I
Right.
would have been shocked, man. And and
Yeah.
and the weird thing that was funny to me is, I was talking about this with George today on his show today.
Mm.
Me, him, and Tom we're talking about how
Mhm.
it's crazy that Disney's best year, right? This is probably the best year Disney has had in a very long time.
Mhm.
Lot of number ones, a lot of billions of dollars, and all every single one of their films that did well this year were quote unquote, they were not woke films. You know what I mean? When you look at Inside Out 2, it was just a good story about a little girl, right? And when you realize, like, they took all of the woke stuff out of it, and that's why it hit number 1, it's kinda like, you would think, like, okay, they would learn their lesson, right? But and I get it, this film, I mean, this show, Skeleton Crew, it wasn't filmed overnight. It wasn't filmed, after Trump won. It was in production for a very long time.
Right.
So,
It's been in the can for like over a year.
yeah, so look,
Right.
guys, I can tell you right now, even with Trump in office right now, there are stuff that's in the pipe that needs to just come out. It's going to come out, and it's going to be, super quote unquote woke.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, we just got to deal with it, at least for the next probably year, at least year, because this stuff was already being made. It was already being made 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Does it hurt the show at all? I don't know.
So Gore said this, right? He said, and this was a reaction to Star Wars Theory's comment, how much Star Wars Theories like reminded him as a kid, the first 2 episodes.
And he liked
And
it, right?
yeah, I loved it. I had a really good time with it. I
Okay,
was,
okay.
yeah, Chris says, I agree. Skeleton Crew is a fun and solid Star Wars show for kids. In episode 3, you'll meet the parents and learn one character has 2 moms. They just can't help themselves. Modern messaging must be inserted no matter what. I'd prefer they keep the parents out of it altogether. I mean, I I I gotta push back on a few things here, right? I'm I'm gonna agree with you that listen, it's the times, right? Meaning that we got this knee jerk woke reaction to a lot of shit now, and we were talking about that earlier, Dante.
And in all fairness, man, it has been shoved down our throats pretty hard over the past, like, couple of years. Like, it has.
Right? Not totally with you on that. I'm totally with you on that. Which is why I think when something, kind of let's say it's pulled off well, it almost doesn't even matter nowadays because it's Disney, it's Lucasfilm. Fuck that. Was it put a chicken in and make her gay, lame and gay or something
Maybe
like
gay.
that. Oh my god, I know. But So my thing was like, well, you can't take the parents out of it because that's been part of the magic ever since ET. Goonies was like, these, kids always in their own way rebelled against their parents, rebelled against being, Elliot found his best friend because his dad left them. It was a
Right.
broken home. So I think parents are very integral. I think the fact that it's we don't that's another thing. I have no idea what I'm gonna see now because of the news that Chris gave us.
But
You
also,
know,
like, how big of a part do these 2 women have in the scope of the show? You know what I mean?
right, right. So it's all these things. So here I was. I read this fucking thing first before seeing Skeleton Crew. I'm like, thanks, Chris. and I watch it and look at I enjoyed it, but in the back of my head, I'm like, all right, where's the gay stuff? Where's the woke?
Yeah.
Because and maybe that's my own fault because I read the whole thing. I should have just said, no, I'm not gonna read anything until I see Skeleton Crew. But my other thing is, Dante, is I know a lot of same I know a lot of mamas that have been together forever and that raised some wonderful kids.
Yeah, my cousin is one of those women. My cousin
Mhm.
is lesbian, and, and her partner have kids together,
Mhm.
from her partner from a previous marriage, and, uh look, again, it's not like I get it, like, and I'm not raising a flag here. I don't again, I understand it has been shoved down our throats for a while. I get
Mhm.
that. But it's
Mhm.
also like, okay, but these things do happen too.
They are, well, and I think that is so, because I was thinking about it because they're saying, well, take the parents out, or just, why does anything have to be sexualized? This is for the kids. And I go back to uh E.T., Goonies. Man, they were always trying to get with the girl. They're always trying to have a romance. They're always trying to do this. I mean, there's that scene, that great scene in the, where Elliot, is releasing the frogs, release the frogs, and he he steps on this chick, on this guy, because he's too short to kiss the girl. So
Right.
that's always kind of been there in its innocent flair. But I think, and I'm not saying this of our friends. I'm just talking about, just this is the reaction is just because it's 2 women and you don't want to give it a shot. And I'm not saying any of us are doing that. I'm just saying, like, the fervor. What are your thoughts there?
Again, I think we're all pretty sensitive to this stuff now. I think that there's probably a lot of knee jerk stuff going on for
Hmm.
sure. On the other hand, they've given us reason to be hesitant about this stuff too. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like Hollywood hasn't been subtle at all about their agendas and about the stuff that
Yeah.
they push. Um, Very heavy handed, in fact. And then we're told to just shut up and take it. So I
Right.
get the anger. I get the apprehension of going
Hmm.
into something like this. I think again, like I said earlier in the show, we almost just have to take things on a case by case basis, man. Like I like maybe accept that some things are just going to have some of that stuff in it, and you know what? As long as it doesn't take away from the story or the characters, then so what? It's going to be there, right? It's funny I say that because I'm a huge fan of the show Arcane, right?
Mm.
And there is plenty of that stuff in Arcane, right? But at the same time, I can honestly say for me, Ar- even with all that stuff in it, Arcane didn't feel woke because
Uh-huh.
all those characters were strong. They all stood on their own. I could tell you characteristics about every character that had nothing to do with their sexuality
Yeah.
or their
Absolutely.
race,
Right.
right?
Well, and that's the thing, is
And
that
that's the
right,
difference.
right. That's the difference, is that if you're writing a character, and they're solely talking about their sexual identity, yeah, no one wants that.
Right.
As far as entertainment, it's like, um, uh, and it could be jarring too, because it's like, oh, this is a kids thing on Disney, but it's like, I think it's for big kids. I think it's for us.
But again, how involved are these two women in the show? Like, what's their importance in the show? Are they sitting there making out the whole time?
Right. I've only seen one parent, and it's the lead kid's dad, and he's like this kind of like analyst nerdy guy who's working overtime, and the lead kid's mom. They haven't explained. There's a lot of mystery, which I think they do really well. We saw Derek in the background for a minute. I wonder what happened to Derek. He was in the back for a minute, and then I was gonna bring him in, and but he didn't even stay long enough to.
Also, you know what, man? I feel like I got to say this too. Like, I think we gotta like chill when it comes to like, dude, when we're talking about a fantasy show in a galaxy far, far away. Yeah, guess what? There's probably going to be same-sex people even in that galaxy, right? Not everybody is straight in the galaxy far, far away. It's like, I again, I get the
Oh,
apprehension,
there he
man,
is.
but there's some things where we got to be like,
Yeah.
sure. I mean, of course, there's going to be people who are like that, even a galaxy away, right? I mean, we got to be a little like realistic too.
Well, let's bring in our buddy. What's up, handsome? How you doing, man?
Hey,
Yay! Hey, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
What
Good,
What y'all
man,
talking
good.
about, man? Some
Skeleton Crew.
gay stuff, gay
Gay-
shit in Star Wars.
Gay stuff with the guy with the pirate hat on. Our matey.
Right.
I love it. Our
The One Piece.
One Piece.
Yeah, that's right, man. Real pirates, not this nonsense we was watching last night, man.
Wait, you didn't like Skeleton Crew?
And no, it was okay. It was all right. It's a kids show. The only problem I got with it is it's made for a generation of kids that were kids 40 years ago. It really isn't made for today's generation of kids.
I just told him
that's
that.
the real issue.
It
It
was made for the kids, us.
Yeah, our age when we were kids, so
Right,
yeah,
right.
it appeals to us, but it really isn't going to appeal to kids from the current generation. My kids would never watch a show like this, even if they were of that age. They wouldn't watch this. They would watch like cartoons. They would watch other things. They wouldn't watch this show. And even if I sat down and watched it with them, they still wouldn't watch it. It just doesn't feel like it doesn't. And it's all right. Again, I'm not saying it's a terrible show. It's okay. I'm waiting to see how it unfolds, some of the stories and everything, but ultimately it's just okay.
Well,
Well,
and obviously they're going for nostalgia, right? I mean, they're going for 80s nostalgia. They're going for Goonies, like we said. They're going for all of those, kid adventure movies of the 80s. So yeah, it's obviously aimed sort of at us. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
But see, is that the right spot for Star Wars at this stage of the game? Like Star Wars.
I mean, what else do they have, man? Like, I mean, they have nothing
They
else.
should be trying to expand. They should be if you were to do this, I would tell stories to the kids of this generation. That's what I would try to do. What are the kids of this generation interested in? Let me try to go more into that realm and see how close I can get that to Star Wars, to what Star Wars is. Try to find like somebody that has an authentic story to tell that can appeal to kids in the Gen Z and the Gen Alpha. Because look, once we're gone, that's it. Once we're gone as Star Wars fans, they have nobody that's coming behind us. Maybe some of the prequel kids and whatever, the kids that grew up on the prequels, but after that, like they should be trying to refresh the fan base. Every generation.
You're right. You're right. After we're gone,
that's it. We're the hardest of the hardcore. All right, Gen X, and then you get to like the millennials who kind of are in with the prequels, but then after that, nobody. How many of these young kids that watch the sequel trilogy and all of this Disney Star Wars stuff? There aren't any. That's why the Acolyte fell off the side of a cliff. That's why all of these ratings are going into the gutter, because there's no fan base coming behind us. And so they should really be trying to build up a fan base for today's generation and not trying to go back 40 years and tell stories that we would have liked.
Look, the problem is, though, man, nothing they're doing has worked for a while. You know what I mean? That's the problem. They wouldn't know how to even tell a good story at this point. And we got to remember, man, who we're talking about here. We're talking about Lucasfilm, right? Again, not Disney, not the MCU. We're talking about Lucasfilm, their own island, right? Yeah. Kathleen Kennedy is going to run things the way she wants. She doesn't care what we think. And if she has to run the company into the ground, she'll do it.
Let me ask you guys this, because I mean, I know the answer, but in regards to anime and animation, do you think the kids at all are gonna dig that Lord of the Rings anime film that's coming out, animation film?
No,
Nope.
absolutely not.
Why not?
I think, and I'll tell you why. I just we talked about this earlier on Georgia's show. I think the problem is it's Lord of the Rings. And I don't know if any of the young people right now have any kind of connection to Lord of the Rings at all.
Mm,
So even though it's animated and it looks like it's animated pretty well,
mhm.
I don't think it connects with the kids of today. Kids
No,
of
not at
today,
all.
kids of today they're not into Tolkien.
Yeah, and
That's
because
fair.
of the way they've been setting it up, like the Rings of Power hasn't done that franchise any favors
Mhm.
either. Did you guys happen to see they showed the first 8 minutes of the upcoming War of the Warrior? Did you
I
guys
haven't
see
seen
that?
the 8 minutes yet.
Yeah, they showed the first 8 minutes. I was asleep after that. I was already falling asleep after this. I was like, this is terrible.
Did you
This
see
is
the first 8
terrible.
minutes of that Craven?
Yeah, that
I
was
saw
bad.
that. Yeah, that was bad too. Like
That was
they're trying to get.
terrible.
They're
That
trying to.
was so
This is where we are. They got to try to reel you in. All right, let's show them the first 8 minutes, and then that'll whet their appetite. Like nobody's coming for this
I mean,
stuff,
I
man.
appreciate that they think that they have confidence in their work, but I'm like, yeah, dog. That shit
Confidence?
was
Are you sure that's a desperation move right there, man?
I feel like
I
that
mean,
exactly.
That was
listen,
desperate.
all right, all right. I mean, whenever I see a scene that's been released where it's a full scene with dialogue and acting, I'm like, all right, these guys have confidence in their featurette. So the thing with Nosferatu is they released a scene of her explaining her nightmares to Nicholas Holt's character. Freaking great scene, right? It's like, and the embargo is lifted a month before the movie comes out. These guys are flexing. These guys are flexing.
Wow, a
Yeah.
month
What's the
before?
difference between that and then what these turkeys are doing with Lord of the Rings and Craven,
The
in your
difference
opinion?
is like Sony especially knows that they have no hits. Like they don't have a hit,
Mm.
man. This whole Spider-Verse without Spider-Man, I don't understand the logic of this, man.
Eiderverse.
The whole, yeah, like Morbius and Venom and all these
Madam
other
Web.
Well, you don't like
Madam
Madam
Web.
Web, dog?
Again, I
Didn't
stand
we
by
all
Madam
see that
Web.
shit together?
I enjoyed Madam Web for the wrong reasons, but
You know
for
what?
all the
That
wrong
Sydney
reasons.
Sweeney in Madam Web, and we saw no titties. I mean,
But
come on now,
oh
man.
no. Again, that's why I enjoyed Madam Web because it fails on every level, man. And I could not stop
But
laughing.
that's not a good marketing plan.
Dude, I couldn't
You
stop
had one
laughing, man.
job. That's why I was like, you had one job. Just get
Uh,
Sydney Sweeney looking hot, and that's it. You would have sold tons of tickets. Everybody would have had
Bro,
something positive
Dude, it
to
was like
say.
a
bro,
carnival of failure, man.
show
And
her in her
I
Spider-Man
couldn't stop
outfit
laughing.
for 5 minutes, man. They didn't even do that.
They didn't. They didn't.
That
They
was
failed.
terrible.
No,
Like
but
Dante, they
back to my
failed on
point,
multiple
Sony.
levels.
I don't understand Sony's logic in this, and well, actually,
Mhm.
I do understand their logic. They're trying to keep the property. They're trying to hold on to Spider-Man as a property because
Yeah.
Disney is nipping at their heels to take that character from them, and they got to do everything they can to keep the rights. So they're putting out a bunch of garbage.
Well, they were supposed to do the Sinister Six. Drew Goddard was supposed to make the Sinister Six. I was actually interested in that.
Yeah, but without Spider-Man,
I mean, still, it's Drew Goddard. Drew Goddard, I trust him as a storyteller. He was the showrunner for Daredevil. He has done
yeah.
some really, really good work. So I'm like, okay, I wanted to see what he had to cook up. Like, all right, let him do what he does and let's see what happens. Maybe he can put together kind of a villain's origin story similar to the Suicide Squad, something like that. And then you can bring Spider-Man in to fight him, on maybe a sequel or something. I was thinking on something on that level, like, okay, there's a possibility if you get a good storyteller. In my opinion, if you got a good storyteller, you got good characters, there's a possibility you can do something with it. But Sony's done nothing. I mean, all of these characters could be great in their own rights. Some of them have had successful comic runs. I mean, Morbius. I've read more than enough Morbius comics and Venom. Like, there's successful comic runs that you can have with these characters. They just didn't get the job done. because they hired. I still am trying to understand, why did they hire the person that, or the two people, I can't remember their names, that wrote Morbius to write Madam Web. That was
Right.
the biggest, like, why do these
Oh,
people keep failing up?
oh my
It doesn't
God.
make any sense to me, man. It just makes no sense. But yeah, Sony has completely wrecked any opportunity. Nobody trusts them anymore. You know, if they had made
Was the
some
last
good,
Venom any good? I didn't see this latest one.
It was all right.
it's
It
it's
was
just like,
okay.
whatever, man. If you like Venom, if you like those first couple of Venom movies, it's more the
Which
same.
I didn't. I've
I
seen all
didn't either.
three. I thought at the very basic level, I thought,
Mhm.
okay, that was a movie. You know,
That bad,
um,
It's
huh?
one of
Wow.
those, you got to leave your brain at the door if you want to enjoy it. You know, you got to take your brain
yeah.
out, sit by the door, brain, I'll be back. I'll come just sit here and just hang out and watch this movie. You can't have fun if you're a thinking person, in other words, all right? If you're thinking too much about the plot, the story, the
Oh,
dialogue,
then
and everything,
you
you're not
already failed. If you're
yeah,
worried
yeah,
about the plot, you already failed.
done. It's
Let's
over.
hit a couple of comments really quick. Thanks for Derek and Dante for hanging out with me tonight on our return to late night. Well, I got to figure out where's a good spot because we Dante and Derek have been so gracious to come and hang out on our late night, but I will figure out a night where it works. But we're West Coast boys, so it's kind of prime time for us right now. Liam says, "Good morning. Good morning. Hey, I'll take the morning. Good morning." Equalizer says, "Shouldn't art and entertainment be separate from politics and political influence? Is art and entertainment so easily corrupted? It should not be."
Good question.
Okay,
Oh, it
all
all
right.
should be separate. It should be 100% separate from politics and ideologies and things of that nature. It should absolutely be. But unfortunately, the people that are making the content don't believe the same thing. And that's why they're failing, because they keep trying to shove ideology into entertainment. And that's like oil and water to me, man. They just don't mix. You know, you have your ideology
Nope.
and you have your sermonizing and all of that kind of stuff. Keep that for the TED Talks, keep that for church. You know, if I want to get lectured to and preached to, I'll go to church. I'll go to a TED Talks. I'll go to what do they call it? A seminar. If I want to entertain myself, look, entertainment is what? It's escapism. It's escaping from everything that we got to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So just get away from. We're trying to get away from it, and then here they come with the ideology telling, "Oh, you're a bad person, or this person's a racist, that person's a sexist," and we're getting all of this kind of stuff in our entertainment. Like, knock it off, man. Just let me be entertained for 2 hours without getting preached and pandered to. That's what I want.
I mean, I can't argue with that, Derek. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't. I really can't. Um, I could say there's room for message movies, but
Sure. Yeah.
the main focus is to entertain us. We're giving you our hard-earned dollars.
Yep.
That's
Well, listen, I
it.
think the art should always come first, right? The thing
Mhm.
is, you could tell a political story as long as the story is good, and as long as
Mhm.
the art comes first, man. Um, but we're talking about like the stuff that like the politics that influence the art, right? That
Mm.
or for a better word, corrupts the art, right?
Yep.
Like when you're injecting your politics into something that shouldn't be there, that's when it's oil and water. That's when it doesn't mix.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And if you can tell too, guys, when when the producers of a film, when they believe in what they're saying, rings true, like Sound of Freedom, or even like really good political thriller ones that have good messages, but they're just so entertaining and engrossing. It's like, man, these guys have creative guts. That's what we're talking about, Derek, is that these guys have no guts. These people are gutless creatively. That's
Oh yeah.
that's what's happening.
I mean,
Um,
even in Star
yep.
Wars, though, man. I mean, I know some people are mixed on this. I personally loved it, but you look at a show like Andor, man. Andor was a show about government overreach, government oppression, right? Now,
Mhm.
obviously, in Star Wars, we know Stormtroopers bad, Darth Vader bad. We get that the Empire's bad, but
Mhm.
in Andor, we got to see that on an intimate level. We got to see like what Empire oppression really looks like on a
Yeah.
people that don't
Dope.
have
Yep.
the abilities to fight them back. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like they got to use everything they can just to fight back, even though they really have nothing. And that's why I love the Andor so much. And that was political, but it was done in the right way.
Derek,
Well, you know what it is. It's still entertainment first and foremost. It has
Yeah.
to entertain you. And you can tell a story with messaging and all of that kind of stuff, like you were saying, Paulie, but you can't put it right there on the surface like this is the point of the show. The point of the show is to message, it is to preach to you. It has to be layered 4, 5, 6 levels deep, where on the surface, it's just entertainment. I'm just
Yeah.
having a good time watching an entertaining show. We have great characters. These people are interesting, fun. And then as you sit back and think about it, it's like, yo, man, I see the message that they have for us. That's what you want if you're trying to do some sort of a message inside your entertainment. You got to have the entertainment comes first. If the entertainment isn't there for your entertainment, everything else, it's just going to fail. You know, everything else comes second, third, fourth, but entertainment has to be number one. And the problem is a lot of these guys, they're just activists. They don't know how to entertain you. The only thing they know how to do is preach. And so you got to get these activists out of the business because they're absolutely destroying Hollywood. That's why everybody's watching YouTube and TikTok and all kinds of other stuff, and they ain't going to the movies.
and you know the other thing too is that they don't even do that right. They don't really know what activism is. They're full of shit with that stuff.
Oh,
No,
no,
you think Rachel Zegler knows what activism really is?
come on.
You leave my future ex-wife out of this.
Oh, that girl.
You
man.
don't want to marry her, Paulie.
We
Trust
we
me,
heard the
you don't want to marry her.
bro. My whole life, I've been with crazy Latino women. You kidding me? You kidding me?
I have never seen any actor in Hollywood, in the history of Hollywood, try so hard to destroy their own career. I've never seen this before.
I mean, I'm kind of disappointed. We're 56 minutes into our stream, and just now we brought up Ziegler. I would have expected more from you guys.
Hey, I'm just look. I tried
got
to
here,
avoid
man.
it,
I
man.
would have
But
been
you know
talking
what?
about it from the beginning.
This girl is a cautionary tale, man.
Well, what is it that has struck the hearts? Like she has so much power with you guys that she evokes so much emotion from you guys.
Dude, you know what
Why?
it is?
Tell me.
You don't know. It's not anger for me. It's fascination. Like I feel like she should be studied. Like because I've never seen this before. I've never seen anyone try so hard to ruin their own career. And I'm trying to
Wow.
understand the logic of it. Like
Mhm.
I almost feel like she's trolling all of us, man. Like I almost feel like there's some Andy Kaufman shit going on right now with her. Like
Wow.
you know what I mean? Like the joke is on us. Like there's some weird, like she's playing a weird game that only she understands.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
You know
No,
what I mean? Like,
you're right, man. I don't get it either. Like, why? Like everything she says, it's almost like you said, like she's trying to do it. Like she wants to destroy her own career. She has had no success. I mean, if you want to talk about like the most successful thing she was in, it was what, that Hunger Games movie, and that was like the lowest like box office Hunger Games. You know,
Well,
it was
you're
the
talking about
lowest one.
monetary success. She's
Okay,
had
yeah,
she's
okay,
had
but that's
success in
what I mean.
regards to, you know, she got the Golden Globe for her performance as Maria. She's on Broadway. She has millions of fans. She, you know,
But
they're
it's
all
like
kissing
somebody
her
just
ass on
handed her
Instagram.
that success.
They're
Like
all
it's not like anybody's coming to check for her. Like she got handed the role as Maria. Spielberg just said, "There you go. That's my girl, Rachel Zegler," and he handed it to her. And it's like, okay. And then what has she done with all of this power that she has? Like she's almost like, okay, Spielberg picked you out of a crowd. You have an opportunity to go out there and be a positive example for, you know, young Latina actresses or just actresses, period. And she is like the poster child of everything that's wrong with Hollywood right now, man. Like this chick has the biggest mouth in the world. She doesn't know when to shut up. She is a PR agent's nightmare. Everything that comes out and her Instagram, everything she puts out there, this last thing she hopes Trump supporters never know peace. It's like, are we serious? And she puts this out right before the trailer for Snow White drops. Like they had to hold the trailer back
Okay,
because of that, man.
yeah, that was crazy.
Okay, hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second. Derek, you have kids.
I have 4 of them.
Do any of them pay attention to Rachel Ziegler at all?
I know one that does.
And
My daughter. My daughter,
And
she likes her as a singer. She hasn't seen any of her movies. It's like Instagram. And she has a lot of Instagram fans. So it's like it's
correct.
almost separate from the box office and from
Right.
Hollywood.
They won't go to the movies. Correct.
Bingo. So none of the stuff that she's doing on Instagram, like her, I think she has like 2 or 3 million followers. None of that is translating into box office success. So now the question is, Hollywood, why are you guys giving this woman roles? They talking about, oh, she might be in a Star Wars, or she might be in Marvel, or she might be in something coming up. Like, why? What possible reason would you think of putting her? And she doesn't know how to shut up. Come on, man. Come on,
Dude,
y'all.
she's about to sink. No. She's about to sink a $400 million Snow White movie. Like, I don't know how she's still getting work. Like, I really don't.
Like the
I
movie
think
is going to fail.
witchcraft might be involved here.
The latest that I got was that she is. Wait. What did you say? I missed that one.
No, I think witchcraft might be involved here, man. Like if she's still getting roles after this, there is something that we're not seeing, man. Because
Yeah.
if you could sink a $400 million film and still get jobs,
She hasn't had a new job in years.
no, but apparently there's rumors she's being considered for all these. And I know
It's
Hollywood
all
rumors.
I
It
even
means
dig down on
nothing.
the sources of even the Gloria Estefan one. It's like, pray to
See,
God.
that's the crazy.
no.
That's the crazy
Yep.
one.
Yep.
That's the craziest one, if I'm being honest. Like,
Because Gloria's
but if
story
she
is
come-
amazing. Gloria Estefan's story, but it's so
It
like
is.
non-woke. Gloria's
Yeah.
story is so non-woke.
that's what I'm saying. Like that, if she gets cast for that, that's the crazy thing.
What is she? She's not. She's Zegler. She's what?
She's
Colombian.
not Cuban.
Colombian and Polish.
Okay.
Yeah, her dad's Polish and her mama's a Colombian lineage, but she's a Jersey girl. She grew up born and raised in Jersey.
Look, she's not.
Those Jersey
she's-
girls got big mouths.
Yeah, she does, man. Look, she's not hard on the eyes, and she can absolutely sing. I can see where there's appeal, but somebody in Hollywood has to get to her and tell her you need to keep your mouth closed. Take away her social media. She is not allowed to talk anymore.
Here's the thing, though, man. It's all fun and games until your agent stops taking your call. You know what I mean?
Now juxtapose that with the career of Jenna Ortega, and
very
how because Jenna's done race swap stuff. You know, Jenna's at Wednesday. They made the family more Mexican. You know, but it's maybe third or fourth down on the list when she's talking about Wednesday. She's talking about Christina Ricci. She's talking about Tim Burton. She's talking about the characters. She's talking about, I spent hours playing the cello. I did this. I did. Oh yeah, and there's this little Spanish thing here and there. But it's in the wonderment of the craft and of what they've created.
Yeah.
You know, and I would have to say, guys, that you get a lot of leeway when you're just nice to people and you're nice to fans. You know,
Rachel comes off as an asshole.
All you had to do was like, you know what, guys, hey, I'm on the red carpet. It's not so weird. It's not so weird. Give us a chance. We've changed some stuff around, but I think you're really gonna like it.
Yeah,
that's it.
The
difference
lying, but is that Jenna Ortega appreciates where she's at. She appreciates what she does for a living, right? And I mean that by, not only is she carpet trained, right? She's red carpet trained, but beyond that, she takes what she does serious, man. Like you said, she'll take the cello lessons. She'll learn what she needs to learn for the sake of the project, man. And Jenna Ortega will never bash her own project.
No.
Right.
And she'll never bash the studio who provided that project.
So, and here's another big difference, Derek, right? Jenna she's like booked out for 2 years. She has so many movies that she just completed and she's got more in production. Why do you think it took over 2 years just to finish a season 2 of filming of Wednesday? That woman hasn't stopped working.
She's a working one. Yes, she's a working actress. That's something I made this point before. Jenna Ortega is going from project to project to project. She's working on her craft. She don't have time to sit up on Instagram and talk trash to the fans and talk about Trump fans. She ain't got time for all of that. She's out there putting in work. I appreciate that. Somebody that's
I
actually going
respect
out
it.
there, trying to get out there. Hey, look, I'm a young actress. I'm trying to get up in the game. I'm trying to make myself better. I'm not trying to sit up here and gossip and talk and play with my pets and all kind of other crap. No, I'm out here putting in the work. I appreciate that. We need more actresses doing that, more young actors doing that. That's
And
why
I-
she's on the rise.
and I'll
And she's going
say,
to learn from all of this. She's going to learn how
yeah.
to actually, she's going to get better roles. People are going to take chances on her because, hey, man, we saw you in this. You did pretty good. Maybe this is the next thing for you. She will get those opportunities, and she works. I'm like looking at her filmography right now. Like, she's got a ton of work, man.
Ton. And and I wanted to add too, she picks very interesting projects from indie to Beetlejuice, right? And
Yep.
she's smart with her projects. She did a little film called Finest Kind over a year ago. It's now back in the top 10 on the Paramount Plus because
Wow.
people are discovering it. And you know what? It's a good non-woke ass movie, about brothers and about fathers. And she plays a role where she falls in love with a guy, shocker, and the guy gives her advice on what she should do with her life. Like real fucking people do.
Yeah.
Like people who are in love do. Great film. And she's rocking, like you said, Derek, film after film. All right, guys, where do you guys want to go? We got Sarah Silverman, we have Marisa Tomei, aging in Hollywood, race swapping in Hollywood. What do you guys want for $20? What do you want there?
You know what? Let's talk about Sarah Silverman real quick.
All
Because
right.
that opens a few different topics just with that.
Yes, it
Okay,
does.
let me get that story up. And I did see, because I picked it as a topic, and then I did see that you had tweeted about it.
Yeah.
There
Oh
we go
yeah.
with the tweet.
All I
So
said was America's healing.
that's so funny, man. I think that's just like so funny when people say that. I agree. Okay, here we go. Let me try to make. I'm trying to get used to this here. Forgive me, guys.
Yeah, no.
Let me take this off. That'll make it bigger. Sarah Silverman says she has become less political because no one wants to hear from celebrities anymore. Liberal comics said that it wouldn't have made a difference if she had been more outspoken this election. This is a woman that created the phrase schlepping for Obama. Remember that? She schlepped for Obama. And that was a
Wow.
whole big campaign she did to get more of the Jewish people to vote for Obama back in 08. So she was very political. Silverman explained why she wasn't outspoken. The liberal comic came out. The community explained that it wasn't out of campaigning for the Democratic Party this time around because her comedy tour schedule, because she felt that voters weren't interested in hearing what celebrities have to say about politics. I was on the road with this tour for one thing. A lot of people asked me if I was going to make a video or something, but my feelings was that no one wanted to hear from celebrities right now. Dante,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, she's basically stating the obvious, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
how long have we been saying that we're tired of these celebrities, man? And I think
Mm-hmm.
this year, celebrity endorsements jumped the shark.
Mm.
Okay, it jumped the shark. I've never seen a year like this, man. And you had the white dudes for Harris, you had every other Hollywood celebrity preaching at us, yelling at us, telling us that we're scum, right? And I think what she realized is like, guess what? That means half your ticket sales are now gone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She realized that. And I think a lot more people are starting to realize, hey, guess what, dumbass? You just lost half your audience, which means you just lost half your money.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what she figured out.
Derek, before I get your 2 cents in, Zach's, the channel Zach's, and the show What's Good, just redirected, and so we're saying hello to a whole bunch of people. We just like doubled up on people hanging out with us. Welcome to the Late Night Latino. We're where I get a little more brave and a little more brash. I'm with two very brave and brash gentlemen already, day or night. Welcome. Make sure you are subscribed to all our channels, and really appreciate it, Zach's for. I think he's going to come on soon. Derek, your thoughts?
I mean, yeah. I mean, listen, the celebrities have shown that they are so out of touch with, you know, um, with just regular, normal, everyday, average people.
Mhm.
And Sarah Silverman's right. Nobody's trying to hear from a celebrity right now. I think like that whole Imagine thing right then during the pandemic, I think that turned off a lot of people towards celebrities and how celebrities are just completely disconnected and out of touch with all of us. And then it just continued on, everybody's saying, oh, yo, I got plenty of money. I don't know what everybody's talking about with the pandemic or I mean, with the inflation and everything. Like
Mhm.
they are living in a completely different world than regular people. And, for her to come out and say, hey, people ain't really listening to us right now. You can tell, obviously, from the election where, Kamala had everybody. She had what? Beyonce came out there, gave a concert. And
She
then
was
what's her
paid.
name?
She was paid.
Got paid plenty of money. All the money that they spent
Disgusting.
on celebrity endorsements. We saw the Avengers video. I'm pretty sure that cost them some money too. That whole thing where everybody's out there, hi everybody, and they're doing this fake Zoom call or whatever. All of that crap blew up in their faces. And it's true. Nobody cares what a celebrity has to think because look, celebrities ain't coming to pay my bills. Celebrities aren't going to do anything for me but entertain. Just sit back and entertain. All right, shut up and act. Shut up and sing, shut up and dance, shut up and do whatever it is you do. I don't really care about your opinions when it comes to my personal politics, how I vote, what I'm going to do with my personal life. That's where we are with celebrities at this point because they have shown they are completely out of touch.
100%. I mean, we can go down that whole thing. I hope she gets audited. I hope that whole campaign gets audited. What a disgrace the way that campaign was run, the way the Democratic Party treated Democrats. I mean, up until the last 4 years, I was one of them. So
They're
was
still trying to
Dante.
Dude, I
tolerate.
think at one point we all were, man. At least
We
I
all
was.
were.
I was. Look, this is the first election I've ever voted Republican. This is the first. So I mean
Yeah.
they have lost a lot of us who used to consider ourselves liberal.
Yeah.
Really quickly, got some starter comments. We would love super chats, and also too, we have the PayPal link if you guys would be so kind. Salty Nerd Gaming is here. I'm driving home, Paulie. Get me home. We are here to entertain you as you drive home safely on the roads of Las Vegas. Be safe out there, Salty Nerd Gaming, Dutch, Mr. Butters, and Matt Kadish. Jamamalama, malalala, I like that. Jamalama, gracias for subscribing. Brian McCann, member of the channel, says, "Hey, Paulie Jr. Hey, just because I shave doesn't mean you can call me Paulie Jr."
Babyface Paulie.
Baby fat, 10 years off, baby. Shoot, 54, man. I'm like, gotta get it where I can. Blair to Blair, hit the like button. That's right, Blair to Blair, hit the like button. Muchísimas gracias a todos, muchísimas gracias. The drunk poet's here, Dempsey. Hello, Paulie. Hello. All right. We're talking about the Sarah Silverman article. I want to get back to it and read a little bit, if you guys don't mind. Thank you all for hanging out with us on Late Night Latino. Here we go with some more of this article. Maybe I was wrong, she continued. I just focused on reposting thoughts from smarter people. There's one thing I wish I had done. In 2008, I did something called the Great Schlep. I told you, where I was told, where I told young Jews to tell their grandparents they wouldn't visit them again unless they voted for Obama. I should have done something like that again. No, you really should not have done that. Not that it would have made a difference, she admitted it. That's actually horrible. I'm really glad, Sarah Silverman, that you didn't do that. Harris's campaign was later criticized for spending over $10 million on these star-studded events as part of her $1.5 billion spending spree during her campaign that ended in defeat. You had every single major, legacy media behind this candidate. You had every celebrity behind, major celebrity, whatever celebrities behind this candidate.
Oh yeah,
Hollywood
Taylor Swift,
behind this
Beyonce, like the biggest, right?
the biggest. and you lost.
And they're still trying to look, they still trying to fundraise to pay off their staffers. Like they were $20 million in the hole
Correct.
after all was said and done. And now they got to fundraise to pay off the people that they had working on the campaign because those people haven't been paid.
Well,
I
yeah, man,
mean,
Beyonce
this
ain't cheap.
woman was trying to run for president, and you can't run a campaign. You can't run a campaign. You can't run the country. It's
Well, speaking of
unbelievable,
someone,
man.
speaking of someone that wants to run for president of Canada, maybe it'll be the new 53rd state or 50th state. I don't know what Trump's saying. It's Zax. What's happening, Zax?
What's up, guys? Yeah, apparently we can be the 51st state if we want. So I would take that deal. Why not?
How you doing, buddy? Good to have you here.
I'm good. I'm good. How are you guys?
Good, man. Good.
We're warmed up, bro. An hour in, we're what do you call it? We're cooking con ganas.
Locked and loaded. You're using some fancy stream stuff. I'm not used to, Paulie. So
Yeah, I'm just changing it up, man. I'm changing it up, which we talked about earlier. It's funny because I changed it up, and yet it's $20 a month cheaper. Thank you.
nice.
Screw you, StreamYards.
Yeah.
Kiss my ass.
Yeah, that hike was unnecessary, man.
Yeah. Any thoughts on? I don't know if you caught that Sarah Silverman thing. I think we can say, Zax, is that celebrity endorsements don't mean shit nowadays.
I think they can actually hurt you when it comes from celebrities like her. I don't think she has a big following. There's nobody who does what she says. And then if they don't follow through, like the Beyonce $10 million and she didn't sing, so people still like Beyonce just fine, but they maybe are pissed off at you for bringing them out to a show that didn't actually happen. And I think it works against them. I really do. I think there's very few celebrities that people actually would listen to, and the death of the movie stars have been a part of that as well. But it's who would you look to there? And they're so cringe. Like their videos they make and are just so bad that I think they would actually hurt your chances, or at least now you're laughable instead of a serious contender. That's kind of where my take.
You know what? Look, I think if you're a celebrity on a high level, you're unaffected, right? If you're a Beyonce or a Taylor Swift, your fans are going to be your fans no matter what you do, no matter what you say. They have nothing to lose, right? Everyone else has something to lose, man, especially if you're in the film industry, right? Because that means half your audience will no longer go watch your movies. So I think if you're a celebrity, man, and even if you were for Kamala Harris, it would have been in your benefit just to shut up. Go vote, go do your civic duty, stay out of it. Right? Instead of risking it all on this clownish woman who George the Giant Slayer calls Cackles, and I think that's a good nickname for her.
Perfect.
Even if you supported Cackles, you should have did it quietly.
Cackles,
Yeah.
wow. Well, listen, I started doing a weekly political three things on the Daily Cella now, right? It's every Monday. It's we pick three things and we talk about them. And let me tell you guys that the Democratic Party in Hollywood are just slinging at each other. There's audits. They're calling people out. They from Carville to George Clooney. So. Let them. Derek, do you have anything to say about that?
I mean, I think when it comes to celebrities, like we were saying at the beginning, celebrities entertainment, it just really isn't a good mix. People just want to be entertained and they really don't want to feel some sort of a way, especially when there's this hot, contentious political environment that we're in. A lot of people want to be able to just say, hey, when I go to the movies, I don't want to be thinking about politics and I don't want to be looking up on the screen and seeing somebody that's just trashed me and trashed with my opinions on who we should be voting for, who we should have in office. Nobody wants to look up on the screen and see somebody that's been dogging them. Like if you had to go out and look at Mark Hamill, who said, go force yourself if you're thinking of voting for Trump. So it's like, okay, so if I go and watch something with Mark Hamill in it, how am I supposed to feel about this now? All right. Like Mark Hamill can't be the bigger person and just keep his mouth closed. So how do I feel about that? Like I feel some sort of a way about it. Oh, okay. Maybe I don't want to support Mark Hamill anymore because of the nonsense that he's saying, so that's how I feel about it. Keep all of that stuff separate. Yeah. You can go and vote. Like Dante said, go vote, say, hey, what celebrities used to do, they didn't like push their politics so much in your face. They would say, rock the vote. Go out there, rock the vote. Yeah,
Right.
vote. It's your civic duty. They would say things like that. And that's perfectly fine. We're not taking sides because they understood. Back then, celebrities had media training. They knew what to say, when to say it, and when not to say certain things. So, and if you want to be on some sort of a, cause, pick save the whales, save the oceans, something that's neutral,
Sure.
that's not going to piss
Yeah.
people off. Don't take a hard stance on something. You start to see like all of these celebrities, or everybody seems like they got to take a stand on something. Like, you don't have to take a stand on everything that's out there in the world. You can just kind of just say, hey, I hope you guys just go out there and vote for your beliefs and whatever, and just leave it at that. That's all we need.
We have I want to get a palate cleanser in a minute, and the best palate cleanser is always hot chicks, and we're gonna
Oh yeah.
Someone celebrated a birthday today, and she's still gorgeous as ever. We're gonna get to her in a second, but let me see. Darth Plato, who has been a fine member of this channel for a long time. Thank you so much, buddy. He sends a membership chat, and if you guys remember, you guys get your free post as far as in the super chats. You guys can do this, which is fantastic. We also have merchandise right now, 50% off on all merchandise for the month of December. 50% off. We don't call it a black wing. This is brown, even though a bunch of black guys hanging out with me. This is brown. Was a brown Friday. It doesn't sound right. That shit don't sound right. Black Friday. Forget it. Sounds better. Anyways, great show tonight, Paulie. Good to see you here. Dante, the DA, and Zax. Zax just got here.
Ooh.
Thank you so much. I think we've got a super chat. Let me see. Yeah. For $10. Blair to Blair. Dude, thank you so much, Blair to Blair. And it's been a minute. Celebrities are useless when not entertaining us.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
They certainly have no business preaching to us. Like I said, they don't live in our world. So if you ain't, somebody that can really relate to me on that level, just entertain me. Just shut up and act. Seriously.
Well, literally, I mean, that's what they are, man. Like, actors, I mean, even singers or whatever. I mean, these are court jesters, man. Right? I mean, back in the day, would the king go to the court jester to get political advice from? No. No, these people are here to entertain us. They're here, dance, monkey dance. That's what they're here to do.
Yep.
Did you guys see the Julia Roberts commercial where she did the voiceover for women hiding their vote from their husbands?
Oh, God.
Was that her?
That was
awesome. Yeah, that was her. And Clooney did one for the guys too, where they could lie to their friends about who they voted for. It's not supposed to be funny, and it's cringe hilarious.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I think I did see something like that, but I just couldn't finish watching it. Just like, no.
Brian, and that's the other thing. Like, if a celebrity has FU money, then yeah, they can afford to do stupid things like this.
But I think it's interesting that that Clooney spoke out, because Clooney, not to say shit, I think they lied to him. I think I know for sure Obama screwed him over.
Like, what do you mean?
That's the rumor. Yeah, I've heard that too.
Well, he was the one that was endorsing Biden, and he's the one that pushed Biden to.
He wrote an op-ed.
He wrote an op-ed telling Biden, it's time for him to resign and all of that. And it's just like, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. You just paid for a celebrity dinner, and you just came out and said all it. And then when Biden shows up at the dinner, everybody's like, what's wrong with this cat? But Clooney was playing it off like, no, he's fine. But then when he goes out on the debate and then the whole world saw what he was, then Clooney pulls back and says, yeah, he writes the op-ed. It might be time for Joe to step down. And remember, he had just came out and said, I just talked to Joe Biden at the celebrity dinner. He's sharp. He's this, he's that.
Well, the word was always cogent. He was cogent.
Cogent. Yeah, there it is. He was cogent. He was lying. That's what it was. So, that's why you can't trust celebrities, okay? They're co-opted. They've been paid off. They've been bought off. So at this point in time, I don't listen to celebrities. I never really did anyway, but now you really don't listen to celebrities.
Well, yeah, Clooney got exposed as a liar, man.
Yeah.
It's and you know what? And it hurt his brand. It hurt his brand for him to put his stamp on Joe. And 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, Joe gets exposed on a huge stage, right? So again,
What did he
going
do on a?
forward, it doesn't
What did
benefit any
he?
of these celebrities to
Uh-huh.
do this anymore. And I think Sarah Silverman realized that,
Yep.
and she probably realized it a while ago. But I think now I think they all have an out, right? They have an excuse to get out of politics, to quit talking about politics. This is their out.
Yep.
Zax?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to think that they're going to get out now. I think that really they don't. I think the people who spend the money on these things are going to realize that it doesn't actually help them. And the actors and stars, what do they get out of this except for they turn off half of their fan base? And really, they should be selling the movies they make or the performances instead of just telling people who to vote for, which is condescending anyway. And really, I think that like Clooney did get burned. I've heard that from where he was told that she was going to be a decent candidate, which
A viable candidate.
viable, yes, and obviously she wasn't. And I think this is a good opportunity where they can just kind of walk away. And I've noticed that it's much quieter now than I expected it to be. It's way quieter than 2016 with the responses and the tears. And where they do see them, it's kind of forced. I don't see a lot of people who are really that upset at this point. And I think that it's really even up in Canada now. Like my wife would vote for Trump, which you would be like she would never said that 4 years ago, but now
Right.
it's blatantly obvious. So I think that everyone should get off that bandwagon, and you don't have to pick a side after this, but walk away from it and look after your own career.
Yep.
We got another start. What was it? Brian McCann, member of the channel, 22 months of membership. Thank you so much, brother. Paulie shaved, lost 20 years, or it's the hat. And you know what, man? It's so
Looks
weird because
clean.
I shaved it all off 2 days ago. And like when you don't shave and you shave, it's pale, right? So I went outside and I sat in my backyard literally for 15 minutes so I could come on, get some this was all white. It looked really weird.
Some
Looked
color in
very
it.
strange. Yeah. Thank you, Brian. And again, memberships are fantastic here. Everything from one-on-one with working professionals, interviews. You get to hang out with directors and actors that I have on the channel, watch parties with some of their films, as well as merchandise discounts, all that good stuff. Consider becoming a member. The low level is $2.99 a month. Amigo level. Do that right now. Fantastic way to support the channel on the monthly, on the daily. Wouldn't you guys agree? Memberships are fantastic.
I was a member
So-
here for a long time, so it's always been good. You're great with your members, and you always get back to people. And yeah, we love you, Paulie.
Oh, yeah. Come on now. Oh, thank you so much, Zax. And hey, Zax, thank you for bringing all your buddies over here. That's really cool, man.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to be here. Happy to be here, Paulie.
Happy to be here. Okay, so it's Late Night Latino. Whoa, some zipping on by here. Oh, so okay, we got gifted memberships. Knee pain. I love that. Knee pain. For 5 gifted memberships. That is dope. That is wonderful. Muchísimas gracias. Captain Fandom Nerd, you're a member. DR Long Dongler.
What?
I mean,
What kind of name is that?
it's a name. It's a name. E pluribus. Pluribus. Was that Latin? Yeah. Donovan and Diego, you're all members, new members of the channel. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for that. That is really cool, man. That is really cool. Let's play a thank you video, and let me see. We'll be right back. We'll play a couple. We'll be right back. Paulie here on Late Night Latino. We're bringing back our late night show. Let me know if you guys are digging the late night show, because right now we have a Friday afternoon show. Every Friday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, we're with Cameron Pasha. Every Friday, Cameron Pasha. It's called Slant Cameron Action. We bring on working professionals in the business. We talk about hot topics, pop culture items from that perspective, whether they're an actor, director. Every Friday, it's a great time. We've been having a great audiences. So let me know what you guys think about our late night show. I'm thinking either a Tuesday or Wednesday night, but I want to make sure my boys, Derek and comics, I'm not like overlapping and all that stuff, because, I'm all about respecting the time slots. I like that stuff. I believe in that stuff. I'm here joined by Dante, by Derek the DA, and Zax.
What's up?
You guys having a good time?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
man. I was saying a
Lovely
few minutes
night.
ago that at some point, yeah, we do have to talk about Marisa Tomei, because my God, how is that woman 60 years old?
Well, I mean, and you're right on time, because
Mm.
there's the palate cleanser, man. Marisa
How is she still
Tomei
hot at
turns
60 years old?
60. She's 60 today, gentlemen.
Wow.
We got a couple photos here in honor of Marisa Tomei. What were some of your favorite movies, favorite Tomei films? I mean,
I love The Wrestler. I
Mhm.
just thought, she killed it in that movie. I
mhm,
mean, obviously my cousin Vinny is like the one she blew up for, but
mhm.
I felt like in The Wrestler, man, she shows some she has some acting skills, man.
Yep.
She showed us a
Derek,
lot in The Wrestler.
And she shows a lot in The Wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
that's
Yeah, no, I'm right
yeah.
there with it. The Wrestler, my cousin Vinny, just classics, and of course her turn as Aunt May. I remember when she first showed up in what was that? That was in Captain America: Civil War. She first shows up, and
Ugh.
everybody was like, like Tony Stark is sitting down there
Yeah.
talking to Aunt May, and everybody was like, "Holy crap, Aunt May is fine! Wow, okay." Because
Yep.
we used the old gray-haired, little grandmotherly Aunt May. But no, we got Aunt May. Like, okay, yeah, I'm with this. Yeah, let's see more of this. Like even now, she still looks amazing. Some women, they just age like a fine wine. Others age like milk, but we won't talk about that. But yeah, she
Oof.
looks absolutely amazing, man. At
Dude,
this age, she can still get it.
she's
She was
so.
also in a movie called
Mhm.
The Big Short, which I really liked as
Yes.
well.
Yes. Well, on this list, and Stephen Givens always does great posts. He's got a big following. I follow him, and I'm like, yo, you didn't have my cousin Vinny, okay, whatever, but you didn't have was it Untamed Heart with?
Oh, right.
I mean, she was just young and sexy.
Oh yeah, I remember that movie. Yeah,
Because remember her, Rosie Perez, or
yeah.
Waitresses? Woof.
Wasn't that with Christian Slater? Was that the right? Was that the one?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. He had he didn't have he was a heart transplant guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Baboon Heart.
She was even in like a Seinfeld episode, right? Like I think she was George Costanza's like love interest or something.
Man, that face, man. That
Yeah.
face launched so many ships. Okay. So yeah, Marisa Tomei, yes. 60 years old. My cousin Vinny, Oscar.
You know what? I think the thing that keeps her looking so young, man, is like I never hear anything about this woman, right? Like she stays out of drama, she stays out of
Mm.
out of the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
I think she's just living a happy life, and happy life, no wrinkles. You know what I mean?
Amen to that. Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. Did you guys see that film?
Oh yeah. Oh, great film. Yeah.
I don't think so.
The Wrestler, a classic film. Now, what gonna get to do is watch some of these old films of hers. That's always fun. We watched a bunch of '90s films during the past Thanksgiving week, so that was a blast. You know what? We saw Single White Female.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude,
That's a classic,
dude.
man. That was Bridget Fonda and
Jennifer Jason Lee, and they
Jennifer
were
Jason Lee, yeah.
titties and freaking full fun all over the place, man. It was just like,
Oh yeah, no,
Attaboy, Paulie.
that was a hot movie.
yeah, crazy hot. Like it's about crazy hot chicks. Yeah,
Almost as hot as Bound. If you ever saw that movie.
Oh yeah.
oh,
Jennifer
man.
Tilly. I think?
Jennifer
Jennifer
Tilly,
Tilly, man.
and
Gina
Gina
Gershon. Are
Gershon.
you
Gina
kidding me?
Gershon.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Those were the days, boys, huh?
That's,
Jennifer,
man, I'm
Jennifer
telling you,
Tilly
man,
always had that crazy hot, like she was like crazy hot.
But
You
she-
know,
but
like
she-
she's hot, but she's crazy. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh
kinda
yeah, the
scary.
best kind.
Yeah,
yeah.
The best
that
kind.
was her appeal, man. It's
But
like,
that's
ooh,
what-
I don't know if this the sex is gonna be
You know
great.
what?
That's all I know. Because
I don't want to bring. I don't want to ruin
sex
this
is the
moment.
best.
I don't want to ruin this moment, but I love crazy Latinas, and Marisa Tomei is Italian, man. She's just fine, aging like wine. Happy 60th birthday, Marisa Tomei. Happy birthday.
Yes, indeed.
Happy birthday.
All right, nice. All right, what are you guys saying in the chat? All that good stuff. Let me see. Don't make me big here.
Yeah, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. That was a weird movie, man. It was.
Was it?
But it was good. You know, it was one of Philip Seymour Hoffman's last films, I think.
You know, let's talk about aging because people are, she aged then. I think you're trying to say she aged better than Jennifer Connelly,
Oh, Jennifer Connelly's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's
Jennifer Connelly's still gorgeous.
but like Mulholland Drive. What was it?
Oh
Mulholland?
man, yeah, great film.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. She was
That
beautiful.
opening montage, she getting butt naked with Nolte.
That was God, what's that director?
David Lynch.
Lynch. Yeah.
Man.
What's this whole thing with so we have Marisa Tomei just turned 60, and there's this whole thing of women showing up on red carpets with no makeup. Pamela Anderson's wearing no makeup. Like, did you guys see those photos?
I did.
Yeah, and you know what, man? I'm kind of mixed on that because I feel like Pam kind of has earned this. Like I feel like, you know,
Yeah.
she was the hot girl for a very long time. For a very long time. And I think like the pressures of that were like nuts for her, you know. I think now she just wants to be natural. She doesn't want to be all super done up in the face. And to her credit, she wants to look her age. Like she's not trying to get fillers or you know, get the weird plastic surgery. What do they call it? The Mar-a-Lago look. You know,
Oh my
like she's
God,
trying to
that's
avoid
funny.
that. She's just trying to look natural. And yeah, she's probably had work done before, but I give Pam a pass on this because I feel like, you know what? For her, even with the no makeup thing, man, you know, she's still an attractive woman who looks her age.
Fellas?
I ain't tripping. I mean, you know, I like the natural look. I like knowing what it is I'm looking at. You know, like instead of, oh, you know, they got a lot of stuff on. You don't really know what's gonna. You're like, what happens when all of that makeup comes off? Like we don't know. You know, so I always like the natural look anyway. So yeah, that works just fine for me. You know, Pamela Anderson, no makeup. You know, more women should, you know, pick up on that. You know, and she looks fine. Look, she looks great.
She looks,
You
she
know,
looks like a woman her age.
She looks
Yeah.
like, yeah, I think she was what, 57, right? Yeah, she looks like a 57-year-old woman should look. You know, nothing wrong with that. I see nothing wrong with, you know, her look. You know, it's perfectly fine. You know, more women again could just probably go natural, less makeup, less, you know, injections and Botox and fillers and all of that stuff. Just like, hey, look, we're guys. What
Yeah.
would you prefer? You prefer all of that stuff, or do you prefer natural? I prefer
I
natural.
mean, if you can get it natural, get it natural. You know.
Because that's the real you, right? That's the real you. That's not some fake version of you, you know? So I prefer the real woman, so I know it exactly what it is. Look, that's what she looks like when you wake up the next morning. That's what she's gonna look like. You know, you ain't gonna be like, oh my God, who the hell did I go to? You know, you're gonna be like, oh no, it's the same woman that I met last night. I like the look now, or then I like it now. So yeah, I don't see any problem with it.
Zax?
I like the natural look. I think it's a good choice. She's a good, well-bred Canadian girl, and yeah, if you got it, flaunt it. It's natural beauty. Go with it. And I think it takes an extra level of confidence to do that, which I think also makes you more attractive.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about aging in Hollywood, right? These are actors and actresses, and I think like the substance touched on Dante. Um, she's also in her own way making a statement about beauty, and I think it's wonderful. The hoops that my girlfriend Romy has to go through just
Sure.
to just to where when she walks into a room, it's like, oh my, whatever, the age is such a thing in your looks. It's such a thing, and it's got nothing. You haven't even spoken a word of your dialogue yet, right?
Right.
Yeah,
You're
I mean,
judged
Yeah.
look,
on you're judged on your looks
yeah.
by producers and casting directors. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, this is and look, man, I mean, we were talking about Entourage earlier, right?
Mm,
That's what it's like though, man. Those rooms where it's like a bunch of people just hanging out, and then you have to go in there and do your song and dance for them and just hope that they like you.
hmm
It's even that much harder for women, man. Because I remember like, in Entourage, Johnny Drama had to go to all these all these
Oh,
auditions,
right.
and he's a guy, right? And I'm thinking like for the women, there's so much harder on them, man.
hmm
And yeah, it's a sad truth, but in Hollywood, there is a such thing as aging out, right? And for the women, for the actresses, they age out way faster, way more than the men do. So I do feel like that movie captured that perfectly. I feel like The Substance captured that perfectly, man. It's brutal. Look, first of all, just having to audition, having to expose yourself to people. You're already being vulnerable, right? You're already putting yourself out there, man. But knowing that they're sitting back there criticizing everything about you, man, every
Mm,
part of your body, your lips,
mm.
how many wrinkles you have, how many, it's that's rough.
Yeah, that's a blow to the self-esteem for sure if they're picking you apart. And I just watched that movie on the weekend, so I'm glad I did in time for this show. And Demi Moore, good for you.
Dude, she looked hot.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
God, she was gorgeous.
yeah.
She's 60 something too, right?
Yeah, she's up there. And in
62.
62?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And yeah, I think I think it's fantastic what Pamela's doing. There were some douchebags putting up some awful posts about her,
Oh,
and
Myron, the one of the red pill guys. I saw that, dude. And what's funny is that guy is a closeted gay.
really,
Oh yeah, dude. He's part of that group Fresh and Fit. And these guys are red pill YouTubers who, kind of like the whatever show where they just, their whole show is about degrading women and shaming them and telling single women they need to get married and that they shouldn't be having sex and all these other
this guy, right? Yeah, this
garbage
is the
takes.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and good for people putting him on blast. I think some of our friends put him on blast.
Oh, I did for sure. Because I mean,
Yeah,
I can't stand the dude.
yeah. There's no room for that, man. That's disgusting. But yeah, I think listen, different women age differently. I think uh, people such as like Demi Moore, Marisa Tomei, Romy, the way they're aging is they got genetics on their side. Angela, what's her Angela Bassett? Oh my
Oh
god,
my god. Yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
Yeah,
you know,
Angela Bassett still looks great, man.
yeah, man. I mean, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, we got a
oh,
super.
Selma Hayek. Are we going to skip Selma Hayek? Are we kidding?
She's probably aged the best out of everybody. Her
Jeez.
and Sophia, what's her
Vergara,
name?
Sofia
Yeah,
Vergara,
man.
yeah,
Both of them have aged
Colombian, Colombian.
miraculous, man. Just beautiful women.
Well, the Latinas, right? You got J Lo, you got
Yeah, J Lo looks good, man. I
you got
mean, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
You can say what you want to about her. She looks good.
she looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Yair Molina, who is a buddy of Zach's, sent us a super chat via PayPal, which you can do.
Oh.
Thank you so much. Congrats on Zach's channel for getting noticed by Favreau. What?
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
tell us about that. Hold on a second.
I have no
Everyone,
idea. I don't know.
hold on. You gotta hold on. Everyone crying over cringe part of Skeleton Crew episode 3, bro. just enjoy good Star Wars. It's Hollywood after all. Okay, thank you, Yair. I think we're in agreement that we want to just keep being entertaining. So I really like episode 1 and 2 of Skeleton Crew. I could care less if their parents are two mamas. I just don't be don't do anything extra, please, please. You're gonna ruin it. You're gonna ruin it. And you guys need a hit. Star Wars needs a fucking hit. That's just it. Even if
Yeah.
it's a little kitty hit, right? Then you
Yep.
step up to Andor. Then you step up to Favreau's movie. What's
it.
this thing about getting noticed by Favreau, Max?
Oh, I've got Favreau over in the corner here. He's tied up, so um, I forced him to watch me. I don't know. I don't know how he would have noticed me, but if he did, that's awesome. I'll take it. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
Cameron was saying something about that as well. So listen, if they're noticing YouTube channels, they being Lucasfilm, then keep on paying attention to what we are all saying to you guys, and cut out all the garbage.
Look,
But
we
thank you
tell
so
it like
much.
it is.
Yeah.
Versus these other guys will, lie and shill and oh no, everything's fine, everything's wonderful, don't worry about it. Lucasfilm, keep doing what you're doing. And then as they watch their ratings continue to sink and to fall, and Star Wars becomes less and less relevant, and all of the fans are saying, you guys are doing it wrong, and stop what you're doing. Because you're about to ruin the image and the style that you used to. Okay, you're about to destroy your entire franchise, and we're trying to help them. Honestly, they think we're ragging on them, and we're really trying to save the franchise. That's really what we're trying to do, because we're telling them where they're going wrong. And so, yeah, you would be smarter to listen to us than to people over at all of these various IGN and Deadline and all the shills who are basically just going to pat you on the back and tell you everything's wonderful. Listen to the actual fans, and you'll be fine.
Yep,
Good advice.
100%. Well, I think we got like one or two things going on here, and we've worked our way up to race swapping in Hollywood. It seems every day, Derek, there is a new announcement still from Hollywood in regards to.
No, I'm a Potterhead. I'm an actual Potterhead. I like Harry Potter, and this bugs me. This
Okay,
seriously
so
bugs me.
let's bring it up really quick so people know what we're talking about.
Yeah, this was crazy news, man.
This is crazy news. Papa Isidu, sorry, Papa. I'd play Severus Snape in HBO's Harry Potter TV show exclusive. The British I May Destroy You actor is being eyed for a fan favorite role in eagerly anticipated fantasy series. This is the gentleman here. I have no idea who this guy is. It's up for a role. Sources say he's been offered the role. It's not clear if negotiations have begun in earnest. Snape is wickedly smart and casually cruel. Hogwarts potions master, who comes across as the story's primary antagonist in the show's first season, which will be based on J.K. Rowling's 1997 debut novel. Famously played by Alan Rickman across 8 Warner Brothers films. Yeah. Well, I'm kind of speechless, and yet I'm not, Derek.
This is terrible, man. And they're not going to learn until one of these projects completely face plants and falls and loses them hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, and then they will stop this nonsense. You can't play fast and loose. There's a lot of problems with race swaps. On the surface, there's problems because they think it's representation. Oh, this is about representation. We want to show that, we're okay over here in Hollywood. We want to represent all races, all this, that, and the third. This is the problem. It's phony. It's fake. It's virtue signaling. All right. This is not real representation, because Severus Snape, the character that they're race swapping, when he was conceived and designed by J.K. Rowling, when she was writing that initial novel, she gives a complete description of the character. He's not black. He is perfectly described. So we know that he's not a black character. But beyond that, in her head, he wasn't a black character. So it's like, why are you trying to make this character into a black character? I've said this on numerous occasions. If you want representation in Hollywood, go and adapt. Either you can go and if you're trying to do some wizard novels or some you can, there's plenty of magic books out there with black wizards that you can go and adapt Hollywood if you really want to do it right, because these are characters that were never conceived as black characters, but what they see is, oh, this, you know, we can race swap this character and there we go, we got representation. All right, we can just go ahead and make this white character into a black character. But this white character was conceived as a white character. It's not a black character, okay? So they think that representation is skin color. They think it's shallow like that, right? They think it's something as shallow and as meaningless as skin color. That's what they consider representation. That's why it's so insulting, all right? Because this character wasn't conceived as black. He doesn't talk black. He doesn't act black. He doesn't carry himself as a black man. So why are you all of a sudden, oh, we're going to put this black skin on Severus Snape. There we go. We got representation in the house. That's not the way this works, Hollywood. Okay. Black people are not going to look at this character and say, oh, I feel represented now because they race swapped Severus Snape, a character who has been played by the great Alan Rickman, God rest his soul. This a great actor, played him for eight straight films. It's like, come on, Hollywood, you guys got to be better than this. At some point in time, you guys got to knock this race swapping crap off, because it isn't real representation. If again, you care about representation, go out there. It's like, what's the name of the Ariel? Okay, with the Little Mermaid. They say, hey, let's just race swap it. There we go. We got representation. We got another black Disney princess. And it's like, they don't want to take the time to actually conceive of a original black character that is built as authentically black. All right. They don't want to do that. All right. They want the easy bake oven way to get you some representation. Let's just go ahead, pop this character. Let's switch her around. Boom. We got representation. That's whack, man. That's trash. No black person is asking for that kind of representation. Nowhere out there. And the same thing goes with any other race. Just let the characters be who they are when they were originally designed. That's what people want in their entertainment. And then if you want, again, you want to go and you want to actually give some representation, here's what you do. You go and you adapt novels, or you write something that has an original character in there that was designed and conceived as that particular group, culture, community, whatever. And now you've represented these people. But until then, you're not representing me. I don't feel represented because you race swapped Snape. I don't feel that. You know, so it pisses me off, man. I'm sick and tired of it. Hollywood is going to learn their lesson eventually, that this shit is just pissing people off.
Well, at best, it's lazy, right? At best, it's lazy. At worst, it's insulting, right? It's insulting in a way of, for me, instead of taking the time to write, to develop, to invest in original black characters, they do the easy thing, right? Which is just race swap, right? Which is also the lazy thing, right? And they think that they're doing us a favor. That's the insulting part. They feel like they're doing us a favor by giving us these parts. Look, this is a weird situation, man, because J.K. Rowling is the one in charge, right? Like, she's the one who's kind of helming this. She gave the okay, right? And
right. That kind of stops me in my tracks a little bit.
And right. And the reason why I say this is weird is because it's her story. No one is taking her story from her and doing what they want to with it. It's her own story. So I don't know how to feel about that. It's like, okay, well, if she wants to race swap one of her own characters that she wrote, who am I to say anything, right?
Well, that is a really good point, Zax, is that, you know, there was such a big deal about her almost being canceled from her own work, that those goofballs that owed everything to her, that she made their careers, you know.
Yeah, Radcliffe and all those other people. Yeah.
That it's like, okay, we swung back. JK is actually part of this production, in like, she is the executive producer. Like, I was like, cool, man. She's been pretty progressive, though. That being said, Zax, so I'm not really surprised by this. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think everyone thought it was going to be Hermione that she was going to race swap for the show, because you could argue, and I guess in the books, I've read the first few of them, that you could do that and sort of get away with it, even though we've already had a visual representation of these characters. So I think it's a weird move to swap them like this, and I would never thought they would do Snape. That's a surprise. And as someone who has multiple black friends, I can say one of them is Abomination AJ. He doesn't like the race swapping, but this is appropriate in this case, but he doesn't understand why they always have to be British, and so they import British actors to play American black people. And it is strange. They do that. That's quite a bit. This guy, in this case, it's different because of the setting, but it does seem to be the move. And I don't. Maybe this will work out for her. I'm not a big Harry Potter guy either way. But the problem is like, because this has happened so much and often it's done so poorly, that it does make you roll your eyes when you see it. And what's the show going to be like? But because it's her story, these are her characters, I think ultimately she can do what she wants with them still, because that's kind of the rule I stick with. If you're the creator, these are your characters, you can change them.
Do whatever you want.
It's your prerogative to do that. So, right. And if this, maybe he's going to be great in the role. And I think a lot of people were hesitant with Game of Thrones, with House of the Dragon, with those changes, but I think they actually worked out really well. I think that the way they told that story, they bothered to back it up with, some lore. I thought that was good. I didn't mind that. I thought it was actually I like those actors, so that was fine. It's just how you do it and who does it, I think, does make a big difference. And George was involved in that, and so he made those changes.
I think the Hermione. Oh, I was gonna say, I think it wouldn't have worked with Hermione being the race swap at all, especially with them calling her a mudblood, right? I mean, it just the optics would have been really bad. You know what I mean? So
she's already signed
but
off
so
on the race
again,
swap.
I mean that, and I'm thinking, well, again, I keep saying race swap, but it's her story, it's her character. So
yeah.
Here's the problem. Severus Snape is not some marginal character in a marginal franchise. You're talking about one of the biggest franchises on the planet at this point in time with Harry Potter. And that character, again, was played by Alan Rickman, one of the best actors that we've ever known. So everybody knows Severus Snape. It's like, okay, Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, I get the point, because they did some race swaps with House of the Dragon. But this isn't like a book series that people has that same, fan base of Harry Potter. Harry Potter is huge. It's one of the biggest ones right now. So you're taking a character that everybody knows. Everybody knows who Severus Snape is. And you're saying, all 8 films were hugely successful. And now we're just going to go ahead and race swap this guy for no reason. What's the reason for the race swap? Okay. Don't give me this is the best actor for the job and all of that. I don't want to hear that crap, because that's not the case. It's not like you went out there and all right, let's have an open casting call and let's just, audition a whole bunch of actors and this guy was just the best one. Like, I call bullshit on that. All right. You're doing this because you want to signal to people. You want to show how, we're diverse, we're inclusive, or this and that. That's why they're doing this, But again, the reality is this character is not authentic. All right, or this race swap. It's nothing. There's nothing authentic about it. And the reason that that this is what really trips me out. There are plenty of black representation in Harry Potter. There's plenty of black characters. Okay, there's plenty of kids that are black. There are adults that are black. They have the representation. It's in the novels. It's in the movies. There's no reason to do this. There's zero reason to do this except that you are trying to virtue signal. That's it. That's all. And that's what pisses me off, because it's like there's really no purpose behind this. It's really no purpose. There's some check boxes or whatever that they feel they got to do. But it's like none of this is authentic to me as a fan. As a fan, I don't even think they should be doing this entire reboot of the Harry Potter thing, period. But I accept that, okay, if they do it. Yeah, it's a total cash grab. Absolutely. But I feel like if they're doing it, okay, you can really flesh those novels out, because a lot of those novels, look, they skimmed the surface in the movies. They really did. Those novels go super deep. So, okay, fine. You're going to do a more faithful adaptation to the novels. All right, bet. I'm in. But then now you're going to race swap it. So it's like, I don't even want to watch it at this point. And again, I'm a huge Potter fan. I'm a huge Potterhead. But if this is where they're going to go with it, forget it, man. There's nothing authentic about this. I hate when I can't stand when they do race swaps, man. Race swaps is my biggest pet peeve. in the whole world, man, because it's lazy, insulting, it's garbage, it's virtue signaling, it's everything we don't like about modern Hollywood. It's everything we don't like about modern Hollywood.
Here's where I'm gonna push back a little bit.
Here come the pushback.
Okay, because and I actually agree with a lot of what you're saying, my friend. But Hollywood's been race swapping since day one, 100 years ago.
Sure.
And Hollywood has continued to stereotype race swap Latinos to this day. They haven't learned shit. Because what you said, to them it's a virtue signal. It's not authentic. If they really wanted authenticity, they would let them in the writer's room and they would write new and bring new stories about. Not what they're doing. And I totally agree with you. One of the benchmarks of this channel is that it's like I gotta call these things out. What Hollywood still does, right? You're still, even with this Emilia Perez movie that's going to get all these nominations. I saw stereotypes after stereotypes, because it wasn't. You're trying to like represent this culture, from an outside perspective that is totally degrading. Or you're still having people who are real life people, characters being played by non-Latinos, and these are real life Latinos that existed, or still exist. Example: Beautiful Mind, Jennifer Connelly won the Academy Award Best Supporting Actress. She was a Latina. That woman was a Latina. Argo, Tony Mendez, Mexican American, looks nothing like Ben Affleck. That shit still happens. So I used to think, Derek, that what they're doing in Hollywood was like, oh, we're trying to make up for that. But they're not doing that. They're full of shit. They're doing it for the reason like you said. Because it's this brainwashed zombie agenda that, and it's almost like, being a part of a political party. It's like you comply or die, So I don't know if I really pushed back, but I'm just kind of giving other insight to it. You know what I mean?
Do you
But
think there's some white guilt involved? Like they feel
fuck yeah,
guilty about the past, so now
fuck
because of
yeah.
their white guilt, they have to go and give some
Oh,
like that. That to me is even worse.
oh,
I mean, it's
bro,
like don't do it to comfort your guilty feelings. Like if you did something wrong, you want to do some real representation to make up for the past. All right, cool. Go and find a no-name black writer, Latina writer, whatever. Go find some no name that nobody's ever heard of and throw all the weight of your studio behind adapting one of their novels. Take one of their novels. Nobody's ever heard of this person. Hey, man, we're about to adapt this. It's a good novel. Nobody's heard of it. And, this is authentically Latino. This is authentically black. And we're going to throw the weight of our studio behind this like they would do for The Little Mermaid. Because like when they race swapped Ariel, it's like, oh, you guys are doing this because it's easy to just take Halle Bailey and boom, there you go, Ariel. It's like, whoa. This is based on a Danish fairy tale. This isn't a black woman. This isn't a black story. If you want to do it right, go adapt an African mermaid story. That's what I've always said.
or there's
Go
plenty
find.
of
There's tons of them. There are
and there's
absolutely tons of them.
and there's plenty of African American, Chicano novels,
Yeah.
literature. There has been now for 100 years.
Yeah.
They're just fucking lazy. They just
That's my point.
they
That's what's insulting about it.
That's what I'm saying is
they're
that I don't think we necessarily. Maybe I'm just adding other context to it.
okay.
And you're absolutely right. Is that and they love their white guilt. I mean, look, ask Zax, right?
Yeah. I don't have any white. I have zero white guilt at all. Period. So I'm not the right person to ask about this. But I think what they're doing in this case is, okay, the way to do this, I would think, is if this is your story, you can change it however you want because it is yours. And I think that's 100% true. She could have added characters and she could have added more stories or branched out from the ones that existed and built her world out because she can do that because it's all hers and she would do a good job of it. But I think they pick this character because he's an important central character. He's by an iconic actor. They're going to switch him out, which whatever, it could be fine, but it's to get us to talk about it. I think that's one of the responses they want. They want people to be angry or upset and engage over it on social media and to get more attention, even though I don't think they have to do that because it's Harry Potter. So there's no reason to add fuel to any kind of a fire. But I think the other, so I'm talking in circles now, but the other argument would be because it's tough to, how do you replace that actor in that role with somewhat of similar quality without having them measure up to that? When they're Alan Rickman, you probably can't. So if you change it entirely, I think that would be the argument of why you would pick that guy to change, because it's going to be a big change regardless. But I don't like it. I think you can do it better. Shows like Rings of Power have done it, and The Witch or that Blood one, whatever it was, they've done such a bad job that it brings you out of the story because everyone there is like just a mix. It's like downtown L.A. all in these medieval hamlets, and it looks weird. And those stories, they have a guy who's a white dude, and this guy shows up who's his cousin, and he's the blackest guy in the show. And you could maybe make that work in your head, but I don't want to have to make that work for myself. He doesn't look like my cousin. Have that be do a better job of writing that story. And hey, what's up, Leon? So that's my take. I think they're doing it cheaply. I think they could do it much better, and especially in this case, she could do a great job, more like what George did with House of the Dragon.
Well, I'm curious who did the casting. Was it her or was it like a casting director? Right? Did she approve it? Like I feel like we don't have the details on this, or as much as we should.
Right.
But I will say this. I will say that it's a very surprising move from Warner Brothers, right? Because I feel like Warner Brothers lately has been trying to play it safe, right? Like they've been trying to move away from the woke stuff. And I'm not saying that, this casting was woke, but they've been trying to be, get back on track. You get what I'm saying? And so, like, if this were Disney, I'd be like, oh, typical Disney.
Yeah.
But the fact that this is Warner Brothers, I'm really shocked that this is the decision that they made.
Yeah. No, I agree. Warner Brothers seems like they had their heads more screwed on straight than Disney. And yeah, this is not going to go over well. Look, I've been online on Twitter talking about this. Everybody's mad. All right. All the Harry Potter fans that you can find, nobody likes this. Okay. Even some of the most woke, diehard, probably super left. They're like, nah, this isn't good. This isn't good. Just leave Snape like he was designed in the books. He specifically is it's detail. Hermione is like, it's a little on the fence. You can mess around with Hermione, even though J.K. Rowling came out and said Hermione is literally the avatar of me when I was 11 years old. Like, J.K. Rowling came out and said that. And I'm like, all right, J.K., you didn't imagine yourself as an 11-year-old black girl. But she's already signed off on the black Hermione. She's already signed off. So I'm pretty sure if there was one of the three main kids that would be race swapped, it would be Hermione. But at the end of the day,
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right in regards to the descriptions of characters. It's like work. But listen, if they already have messed with Tolkien with Herbert and Dune, that they're doing it all over the place.
Think about this. What is it that you want out of an adaptation? You want to jump inside the mind of the author that wrote the book. You want to jump inside that person. All right, how did you envision your world? I want to get as close to that as possible. That's what an adaptation should be. It shouldn't be whatever some weirdo leftist woke Hollywood director wants to do. It should be, okay, what was the original author thinking when they were writing this book? And so that's what we should be going off of. J.K. Rowling, what did you imagine Severus Snape looking like? She gives it in the novel. So it's like, okay, that's what we're going to do. We're not going to try to race swap. We're going to get as close to the original as humanly possible, And like Zach's was saying, if you got that much of you really want to work with an actor and he's black and it's like, man, we really don't have a role for you, then you can just create one. All right. You could create a character. My perfect example of this is Agent Coulson from Marvel. He was a created character. He never existed in one single comic book before he shows up in Iron Man. Never existed. They created a character, and look what they did. This character goes on and gets his own TV show. He's beloved by fans. Everybody loves Agent Coulson. All right. Created character. Clark Gregg got an opportunity when they were doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Clark Gregg got the opportunity to go every year when they were all right, we're about to do another season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Hey, Clark, come sit down with us. Talk about where you think this character is going this season. And so he actually got to participate in the process of the creation of his character. Now that's representation and that's respect. If you care about this stuff like that, do stuff like that for the black characters and the black actors that you're trying to work with. But don't just give us some sloppy seconds and hand-me-downs and, oh, okay, we're just going to race swap Snape. There it is, done. Like, nah, man, we ain't with that. Black people are not even asking for this. I don't know one black person that is asking for race swap. I have not met one black person that say, "Oh man, I can't wait to see a race swap, whatever." Okay, I know no black people asking for this. So why do they keep doing it? It's like I said, it's for their white guilt. They feel guilty about stuff that's happened in Hollywood in the past, or maybe they feel some sort of way about how things are represented today. So they're going to change the. Nah. That's not going to get it done. Okay. You got to go and you got to put some real money and some real effort behind it. This is lazy. This is pandering. This is bullshit. So listen, man, don't get me started on this topic because I'll take over the whole show, Paulie. All right.
All right. So
listen, guys, I gotta run. So I just wanted to
okay.
Yeah.
Plug
Paulie,
the channel.
for having me on. DA is always good, man.
Always a pleasure.
It was
bro.
nice meeting you, man. I know we haven't done a show before, so I just want to say hello and hopefully
Plug away, bro.
See you again.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, you guys have a good rest of the show.
Well, we're almost wrapping up, but you have a good night, bro, and I'll catch you. You going to the movie tomorrow night?
His YouTube channel up there, man. That's not the DA.
Oh, Jesus. It's just me running it tonight. Excuse me. Hold on.
I probably won't be at the movie tomorrow night, but
hold on.
But
wait,
but
you
we gotta hang out soon.
you know what Derek just said.
What did he
He
say?
alluded to the fact that I think you guys all look alike. That's not cool. What the fuck, man? What the fuck, dude?
Oh man.
Y'all are wild. Anyway, guys, have a good rest of the night.
All right,
Well,
Dante.
exit. Love you, man. Thank you for hanging out.
Sure, no problem.
Have a good night. So I think my only thing would be is that I think what's gonna be really interesting is to see what JK and them do with all of the backlash right now.
I think they're gonna back off.
It's on her. This is all on her shoulders, man.
Yeah, I think they're going to ultimately back off. The backlash is humongous right now online. I think they're going to ultimately back off. I hope so. Yeah. I hope so. And they just cast it appropriately. That guy can play Kingsley Shacklebolt. You know, there's black adult actors in Harry Potter. He could easily go and slide right into that role, no problem. Okay, everybody would be cool with it.
Okay, we have one more topic, and let me bring up the question right now. And I don't know what you're thinking. What are you hot and bothered about this week? In your head, give me a news item that you're hot and bothered about this week, and think about it. And let me get to these super chats really quick, and then we'll wrap it up with that. Borg Pork for $2. Did WB even ask Adam Driver for the role of Snape? I mean, they've been saying that for a while now. He'd be perfect.
But he's American. They try to usually cast British actors for these main roles.
Is that right?
I think that would be the problem with Adam Driver is he's from San Diego, man.
Yeah, they're very British.
So they probably would want to cast a British actor for those main roles. So yeah, that's probably why he would never get it.
All right. There you go, Borg. And Words of Paradise for $5. Thank you so much. Hashtag Zax for Snape.
I can't act, but I'll do my best. I'll take the job. Why not? Take a job away from a black actor? Sure. Why not?
Wow.
Sign me up.
There you go.
I'm Canadian. I can't be racist. That's how it works.
Thank you for all the super chats. Let's hit a quick little video. We'll be right back. So, what is really bugging you this week? Maybe even guys that even answer in the chat, you know, the race swap. Is it this bad news or whatever it is? Type it away right now. I want to know. I've asked the panel, what is getting you really hot and bothered? What are you hot and bothered about? I know what I am hot and bothered about. But let's hear it from you. Who would like to go first?
I can go first.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed by mainstream media's presentation of the whole, and this is politics. This is your politics, not mine. But the pardon thing is just, it's not that he did it right. It's that the media's coverage of it is it's hilariously bad, and they are trying to backtrack from everything else they put out about it. And I just wish that at some point, just be consistent. Like, you can say you don't agree with it now because he did it. You said that previously, and that's okay. I want to see the media becoming honest on all sides. I don't get to vote either way, so I'm so sick of that. The backward steps and the twisting of the story when it's just, yeah, he said he wasn't going to do it, but to say it's not a lie when you say you're not going to do something and then you do it. It's not called changing your mind. I think most people would say there was an Austrian who's a really middling painter with a weird mustache, and when he said he'd stop at Czechoslovakia, you wouldn't say, and he didn't, right? You wouldn't say he changed his mind. No, he lied, and that's what happened. So I don't like that. That's kind of. I was hoping after the election that people go back to just telling the truth a little bit on TV. That's what's grinding my gears.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I know. I agree, man. This whole conversation about the pardon and yeah, I mean, it's kind of disappointing, honestly. It's because the reality is most people are just upset that he lied. I think everybody would have pardoned their own child.
100%.
I don't understand that. Like, yeah, I'm pardoning my son, and I don't care I don't care how y'all feel about it. I'm pardoning my son. I'm a dad. That's my son. I'm gonna pardon him. Okay, it is what it is. But the fact that kind of lied about it, that's what's rubbing everybody the wrong way. So yeah, I agree with that one. That's definitely annoying. I think the only thing that's really bothering me, honestly, is just um you know seeing all of the I guess you could say, like, the conversations don't seem to be changing. A lot of there's some different actions by people that watch media, but the conversations don't really seem to be changing the media. The media is still doing what the media does, which is trying that spin. There's a lot of people coming out, oh, I don't have a problem with the fact that he lied. It's like, so we're back to square one. Nobody's learning their lessons, so it's just more of the same, even and everybody saw right after the election, there was an immediate feeling that, okay, things are going to be different now, and people are going to start listening, and people are going to start,
Right.
coming back to reality, and nope, they still lying. So that's kind of disappointing and unfortunate,
And it's interesting because I watched clips of The View, which of course I'm not going to watch The View, but they're talking about this as being, there's been a two-tier justice system the entire time. This is normal, so it's time for us to win. And they're referencing that black people are not being treated fairly legally, which is true. And so this is a straight white dude who's got weird shit on his laptop that's getting pardoned, and you're going to use, how you've been treated for 100 years as your response to that to say, well, hey, it's fair. It's just it's another white dude, so at least be consistent that way.
Yeah.
Don't use play the race card for him, I guess is what I'm saying.
No, it's good. Thank you, man. Thank you. Well, what is bothering me tonight? I got to tell you, I saw a movie a few days ago called HerStory. Chinese film, and I saw it with our buddy Mike MC Wong, and he gave me the background that this is the biggest movie in China right now. It's the most successful, and it's breaking a lot of doors down, And so I'm watching this film, and in its feminist agenda, and I'm like, okay, I get it, girl power, and broken, like the mom trying to raise a girl and have a career. To me, it was very reminiscent of kind of films from 20 years ago that Hollywood was trying to make. But what I'm really bothered was with how they treated the men in the film and how they were written. And I'm like, fuck. Hollywood's gotten kind of
Hmm.
in their filmmaking, because it was basically like a feminist, you know, kind of ensemble piece, almost reminiscent, like feeling like the it had such a mainstream uh, approach to the directing, like the film, like those movies like Love Actually and those other ensemble movies had that look and feel, but with this feminist agenda. And obviously, I love women. I'm been with a very strong independent woman for almost 10 years now, and it it got me to think where we are as men and how really Hollywood has done us a big disservice. And I started thinking about, well, how am I a man in my day to day with my lady, with my friends? And you just don't see. And so I answer my own questions because I'm good with who I am and what I am as far as my day to day with being a man and my place in the world, my place with my lady. But Hollywood has abandoned us. They've not only have abandoned us, but they've done everything to kill the male role model, the
Yeah.
positives of being macho, the positives of being a strong force in your community, in your family, with your friends. And I just saw more of that, of these idiotic. There weren't even stereotypes. I mean, they're just idiotic, useless tools that were the men in the movie. And so that really bothered me, and I wanted to talk about that. I hated the film. I was nice to my friend. I was like, "Oh yeah, there's some nice parts in it," but I absolutely hated the film, and I hate any film that puts down men like that. No, I don't care what language you're in. So that got me hot and bothered, guys.
Well, the portrayal of men in Hollywood has been on the down on the decline for a while.
A little bit,
Uh, yeah, yeah. They
a little
don't.
bit.
I don't know if I don't know if it's necessary to tear men down to lift women up. But it seems like that's where,
Hmm.
it seems like Hollywood is going. It's like, okay, we want to lift up women. So let's make all the men in this TV show or this movie idiots. Let's make them stupid. Let's make it like they don't get what's happening. And the women are the ones that are smart and understand everything. I've had a problem with that for a while as well. I don't understand it. It just seems like Hollywood has this thing about, men have to be torn down. But what's interesting is you're starting to see the reflection of this in society. When a man stands strong and stands up tall and tries to protect people, they
Mm,
demonize him too. Like the
mm,
guy on the New York subway that saved, probably a whole
mm,
subway full of people from being attacked. And yeah, unfortunately,
mm,
a person lost their life, but like he was trying to stand up for people. He was literally trying to be, trying to, be the man that most people want in that situation, and he gets demonized for it. So it's weird. It's just like a weird thing that's happening in the world today where, men that are men that want
mm,
to, protect others. And he was I think
mm,
he's a military man, so he's already served his community and served his country. And he saw a situation happening and he took action where most people, I've heard so many stories about people that just sit back and turn on their camera and start filming stuff like that when somebody's around harassing people. Here's a man that stepped up and they demonized him. So it just makes me wonder, like, okay, if they keep doing this in the movies and they keep doing this in society, like what kind of men are we creating? What kind of lessons and messages are we given to men when it comes to taking care of their families, taking care of society, taking care of business? And then when you look around and you see,
mm.
man, things are going from bad to worse, you start to wonder, maybe this is part of it, because of the way you demonize and attack men.
Uh,
Well, on that fun note,
hmm. All right. I want to just tack on that it's
yep.
so bad now that you notice it when it's something else, like when it actually
Mm,
is a strong male role model in a movie or a TV show that you give it extra credit because it's just being showing you some reality. And something you can like show to your kids and go, look, like men can still be men. It's fine. But yeah, it's so few and far between that you really do notice it now.
Yeah. I mean, and I love a lot of the comments that people are saying in the chat in regards to building up. We're all vital in our communities, in our society. Why would you tear that down? And a lot of sure, you work on the things that need to be worked on, but a lot of what we've created in our societies have work.
It's nature, man. Men have a
Yeah.
role.
Mm.
Men have always naturally had a role in society. You know, protectors and providers. That's it
You know,
throughout the history of the world.
yeah.
You know,
I really recently saw the movie Cinderella Man, and there was a great scene with the two wives, and they were talking about they're going through the depression, Giamatti's wife and Russell Crowe's wife, and they said a line where they're like, "I always see it on his face every day. It's the fear that I'm failing you." And we
Mm,
that dude, that's how we are wired
yep,
every day,
yep,
right? Is
yep,
am I good enough? Am I doing, am I a failure in my lady's eyes, in
yep.
my parents' eyes? And
That's our natural. That's our natural instinct. You know, nobody had to teach that to us. That's just how we are. If you were raised, in a good,
Yeah.
strong family, and you're raised by other good men,
mm,
that's how you feel. You feel like, man, am I doing everything right? You're always kind of double and triple checking things. You want to make sure that you're taking care of the people you're supposed to take care of
mhm.
and giving them what they need. And yeah, it's just a natural instinct, I think, that most men have. It's just, just the way we're wired. So it's just like I said, it's kind of weird when you see that being demonized. It's like I don't know where society goes if you're demonizing that, because you're starting to see men just check out of society right now. You're starting to see a lot of guys, they just want to lay back. I'm just going to play video games,
Mm,
smoke dope and, and chill,
mm,
eat fast food, get lazy. You're seeing a lot of that stuff happening right now.
mhm.
They don't have purpose. And, if you take the purpose of a man away from him, what is he? If you take, oh, we don't need you anymore. Like a lot of women say that, so it's like, that's not a good thing. Then you have a society that it seems like it's falling apart in a lot of ways in a lot of communities. So I don't know, man. I just random thoughts. I don't really have a solution to any of it, but it's just like sometimes I be sitting back just thinking about this stuff. Like, yeah, come on, we got to get this stuff back together, and men are going to be needed in that mix. Totally.
I think the solution, sorry, Paulie, is to
Nope.
one thing we can do is to keep being us and keep doing what we do as men. And in the real world, we can still be that role model and to actually let yourself do that and step in when you need to. And I've done it quite a bit, and it's never blown up in my face. And people respond to it. They see you when you take a step forward and you know it's the right thing to do. They will follow you and they'll play their part and they'll support you. It's just sometimes you have to be that first person to do it. And
Yeah.
don't be the guy with his phone, right? Be the guy who steps up and does what he has to do, regardless of what that is. And don't let anyone make you back down.
Well, gents, I have some comments to read and some super chats, but I'll let you guys leave now, and I'll get through them. I know it's getting late, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. This was
Oh
fun.
yeah, absolutely, man. Bring me
Thanks for
back
having me.
anytime, man. Had a blast.
That was a
Yeah, I got a
blast, man.
couple of videos to make before I get to bed, so I would drop off and do that, Paulie. But I appreciate the invite. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Zach,
let
nice to
people
meet you.
know.
Nice to meet you,
Let people
DA.
know what's going on, man.
Yeah, you can catch me on my channel, Derek Anderson, the DA. Now you can put the little
Okay,
graphic. I don't know if you have it ready.
I'm trying to find Dante's.
Trying to find Dante so you can get hit. Yeah. Derek Anderson, the DA. You can just check me out. And if you enjoy the channel, give it a watch. And if you like it, subscribe. I appreciate it. I just put up a video about the whole race swap Snape situation. So you can definitely check that out. But yeah, usually daily videos. I do live streams, nightcap. So normally around this time I'm live. Depending on the day. And then I have the DA's office every Sunday at around 8 p.m. Sometimes I go a little bit earlier at 7:30, but usually around 8 p.m. I go live. and bring on guests like Dante, like Cyfax, who I seen is in the chat,
Mm-hmm.
and some other cats, and we just kind of hang out. So again, Paulie, thank you very much for bringing me on. I appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, man. Have a good night and
Yes,
go and bake.
go Dodgers.
Man. Oh man, we need to do this. See, we could do our own Dodger channel.
We should, man. We really should. All right,
Wow.
later on, bro.
All right, later. Have a
Nice
good
to meet
night.
you. Appreciate that.
Mr. Zax.
Yeah, so you can find me at Zax on YouTube. Do shows Wednesday, live shows Wednesday and Saturday night. Wednesday, tonight we just finished before we came on here, every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central. And this week we were talking about our favorite epic movies, but not just like one or two. We're building a list of what is an epic movie
I saw that.
and what are the best of that example. And then we're going to be coming back next week and do a tier list of what do we think. Now we'll get into the actual competition of it all. So we wanted to cut to 20, and that was my goal was to get to 20 epic films to then talk about, but man, we got to 34.
Dude,
It's
that's a lot.
I know. It's a lot of movies. It was a lot to cut.
A lot to
Saturdays.
cut. What got cut that was like really
Oh, well,
like, no, we can't cut that one.
we cut Raiders of the Lost Ark. And
What?
yeah. And at the very end, I put it back on because I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't make that cut, even though most of the panel was okay with it. Chat was 50-50 on it. But I had
Crazy.
I know, but there's a
What
lot.
about Braveheart?
It's on there. I could not. Braveheart has to be there. Gladiator has to be there. Lord of the Rings movies have to be there. There's no, and the Patriots on that list too. So we have a bit mix of the different times.
Whoa, wait a minute. The Patriots on there, but Raiders
Patriots on
isn't?
Listen, Leon, Last of the Mohicans. Yes, it got cut. Leon, it did. We got a lot of great movies, and so it wasn't just about what the best ones were. It's what fit that example of an epic. And so Avatar is still there, even though most of the people want it gone. But I think it's kind of fun to leave it there. So,
All right, go check out his channel.
yes, yeah, it's Saturday night.
Oh, wait a minute. We got a super chat. Hold on.
Ooh.
For $4.99 from Osvaldo Lopez, Zax is giving off L.N.L vibes. Also, it's true. Cameron reported Favreau and his team considered Zax's channel as one of the fair and positive to monitor. That's right.
Monitor me. So sub and Saturday night we do comedy. So Saturday night, late night, Circle of Jerks is the name of the show, and we react to some cringe stuff, and it's a panel group, and I have a great time. It's always funny. I guarantee it. So sub to me, come watch it. You will not be disappointed, and I'm not lying to you like Joe Biden did.
Okay.
Right? See, you laughed.
Random.
We did it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I love the late night shows.
Yeah, I think we're going to be doing these. Next week, I'm going to meet in person Script Doctor and Paul Chato.
Oh, cool.
It's the coming of the Canadians to LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am going to someday. We can wrestle, maybe even get our put a gi on. You can choke me out.
Yeah, I'm training Friday and Sunday.
Dude.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
teaching. Excuse me, I'm teaching.
I have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
But thanks for having me on.
Thank you, man. Thanks for the redirect and for all your audience. And I'll be in touch.
Cool. Awesome. Love it.
Have a good night.
Good night.
There they go, man. That was a fantastic first time out there. That was pretty cool. Yeah, make sure you are subscribed to everybody. I have some comments to get to because I don't want to leave you guys hanging. In regards to what has you hot and bothered this week or today, Solomon Thornton hearing the bad news of the Lord of the Rings anime movie. Yeah, I mean, my only recourse is that it's good storytelling. I don't know, man. Solomon hearing the bad news of the anime, and I was looking forward to seeing it since I am a Lord of the Rings fan, but looks like it will be bait and switch. Yeah, it's already coming out. Equalizer, it's beyond disappointing. It is a disgrace in regards to the what has me hot and bothered. You are the patriarchy. They want to replace you, Paulie Shanatsky says. Yeah, well, hopefully those tides are turning. Syfax says, "Are you going to Y2K with us tomorrow, Paulie?" Hell no. I do have a ticket for the werewolves at 7:30 over there. I don't know if I'll make it, but I do have a ticket, so we'll see if I can get over there. Shanatsky, we have to empower women by making them exactly like how men are, even though men are evil. Crazy, right? Then now you have a whole bunch of female characters that are completely unlikable. All right. Well, I think that is it, everybody. We got comments. I mean, what a fun night. This was what do you guys think? You guys want to see more of these late nights once a week? Why not, right? Why not? Let me check in with the chat. You guys were great. Let me give shout outs to Read by Nature, Jaime G, our members. Monica, a few years back, it was normal for men to approach women when going out. Now the first assumption is harassment. Yeah. And that's a whole art, right? That men have lost because it's like the society's told them stop doing that male gaze, stop with that, stop talking to women. It's like, what happened to the whole art of, of it's not even seduction. It's like the art of romance and courtship. You can't even have any of that. Can't even have any of that. Yeah, that's crazy that Last of the Mohicans got cut. I love that film. I love that. I remember that movie back in the day, man. So yeah, want to thank all our members, old and new. I want to thank all our new subscribers from Zax. Dating apps have made it worse. Yeah, I can imagine. I can't imagine, man. I just sub Zax. Cool, Borgu. What's up, Borgu? Soul Assassin, Words of Paradise. Philip Gaming. What's up, Philip? Good to have you here. Okay, I think I'm the DK Bones, the Equalizer, Shanatsky. Let's thank all the super chat people from Osvaldo, who's a member of the channel. Amelia Clark's scroll arm. That's always funny, man. That is always funny. Jenny, hello, Jenny Sabian. Fun show, subbed right on. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. I have new videos that I've put up. What do we got videos on? And thanks again, show all. So one thing I'm learning the interface here. Fun show. Thank you, Jenny. I've been feeling down, but this stream made me feel a little bit better. Thank you, Brogu. I feel good too, man. I was actually very excited to get this show out to you. Worked on the little, the new look and feel, the little, all the late night stuff. So we have new videos. I have the Skeleton Crew episode 1 and 2 reaction review. We got a Wednesday season 2 is just wrapped. We got a story on that, and also we just cover a whole bunch of stuff in regards to some latest pop culture news and a couple of AI and political news as well. So make sure you check out our main page. To all the new subscribers, yeah, we got a nice bump, and keep on growing. All right, Zax. Thank you, Liam. Okay, I'm out of here, guys. God bless. Everyone have a wonderful, get some rest, and I will see you Friday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific with Cameron Pasha on Slant Cameron Action, and we'll see you very, very soon. Adios.